Spielberg for the Austrian Grand Prix, and we are about to embark on round 10 of the IRC Elite League Championship. Been an absolutely stellar year so far, it really has. As we're not where we spectate, and yeah, so we're about to embark on what is sure to be an absolutely cracking race around this very short circuit. But it's about 9 turns, well 10 on the official map, but it's only 9 turns, isn't it, on the on the realistically, isn't it? So yeah, we got 9 turns. Well, we got 10 turns around here. 2.6 miles long in the beautiful Hysterian Mountains, and this is the best location for the race on the calendar. Before we get into it, let me quickly just share the old stream. And whilst I'm doing that, it's also it's a day of celebrations today, isn't it? Because it's a celebration today because, of course, it's Giancarlo Minardi's birthday. He'll be 72 years old today. Absolutely stellar work, isn't it? Of course, Giancarlo Minardi, I think, is the it's everyone's basically favourite team, or second favourite team, of course, the Minardi owner. Absolutely brilliant stuff, isn't it? I must admit, I do miss the Minardi because they brought in some absolutely cracking drivers, didn't they, over their time. But let's just list them off, shall we, whilst we're just waiting for the session to get going. We got of course, Mark Webber, Fernando Alonso. Who can forget about Fernando Alonso? Giancarlo Fisichella was one. Jarno Trulli, another incredible stuff, isn't it? Really really absolutely stupendous absolutely stupendous driving there as well. Hang on, I've just lost what's going on here. I've got so many I've been very busy on the old chat today. I'm struggling to find the there it is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Minardi was a cracking team. They really were. I really do miss the Minardi team as we're going to get into it in a minute. Anyway, yeah, let's just quickly have a quick chat about the Austrian Grand Prix itself. And there's me going down memory lane. I completely I forgot about the Austrian circuit. Yeah, of course, we're in Spielberg. The Red Bull Ring used to be the Österreich Ring before changing to the A1 Ring. It wasn't named after the band, I don't think. So yeah, and then it now has become the Red Bull Ring. As I said, 2.6 miles. This is the shortest lap time on the calendar. So these lap times are going to be just over a minute long. It's incredible, isn't it? 106 is the lap record set by Kimi Räikkönen last year. So yeah. So yeah, really, it really is going. It's really going to be fast and furious stuff at the moment, isn't it? Of course, we have. Let's just take a quick. In terms of the pole positions this year, this is an incredible start for you, isn't it? At the moment, we've got Samster is the pole king at the moment with 4 pole positions to his name, 3 pole positions for Jacob at the moment. But and then of course we've got 1 pole position for Jamie, and of course we've also got yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's it really. But I must admit, I love the Austrian Grand Prix. I think it was one of it was quite underrated when I first started watching F1 way back when I was a nipper. Because I never really looked forward to this track, but thinking about it, there was some absolutely cracker races, wasn't there? 97 was fantastic year, wasn't it? We had Jarno Trulli leading the race, didn't we? Of course, when he subbed in for Olivier Panis when he broke his leg, didn't he, in Canada? That awful crash back in '97. Of course, Prost was absolutely as a force to be reckoned with that season, wasn't he? Brilliant. Maybe it was the British Zone tires, maybe it was the car itself, but brilliant season that season, didn't they? And Jarno Trulli was very quick that day, wasn't he? Unfortunately, engine failure put pace that. We had 2 Stewarts running in the top 5. I think it was Magnussen, not Kevin. Of course, his father, Jan Magnussen, driving the Stewart, and he was on course for his best race of his career. I think. I'm not sure what happened to. Can't remember what happened to Yang. And of course Barrichello up in second position as well. Jacques Villeneuve, I think, eventually claimed the victory here. Hakkinen, of course, stormed away, didn't he, as well? And then he broke down after the first lap. It was I think McLaren was going for Hakkinen was having a real bad run of luck in '97, wasn't he? He could have won several races that year. 98 as well, of course. Qualifying was probably the highlight that year, wasn't it? Brilliant. I think it was awful rain conditions. Basically, I think everyone just basically waited till the very end, and then we had a flurry of activity, didn't we? I'm sure Fisichella got pole position that day, possibly in the Benetton. In 1999, of course, Eddie Irvine won his second ever career victory, didn't he? Of course, when Hakkinen and Kufai crashed at that corner there, turn 2, well, turn 3, crashed in that crashed there, of course. Well, didn't crash. They basically Kufai spun Hakkinen around. He wasn't very popular that day, was he? As so yeah, I think the team might. I bet that was a bit of an awkward debrief, wasn't it? Going back to the old garage there. Of course, 2000. In 2000 as well, Schumacher, of course, started his run of really bad results in 2000, didn't he? He still won the championship, though, but he was taken out in the first corner, wasn't he, by Ricardo Zonta, his best ever career career qualifying result of 5th position, I think it was, or yeah, it was 5th in the BAR. Unfortunately, that came to nothing as well, and Schumacher was out on the spot. I think he also retired in Germany, didn't he, after getting taken out by Fisichella. So yeah, it wasn't a good run of form there from Schumacher back then. Of course, he still went on to win the title, the Ferrari's first title in 21 years. That was a fantastic time, wasn't it? And to be honest, I've been reading reports about Schumacher, and it's been positive news. So I really hope it is positive news. Yeah, I really hope it's positive news for the Schumacher family. I'm not going to take. I'm not. You don't know what to believe anymore. Anyway, let's quickly go to the comments at the moment. Hills are up there. Has just said, "I wish no more DNFs." Of course, unfortunately, I have to bring it up. He's had 3 DNFs so far in 9 races. Apart from that, though, he's had some brilliant races. Only Monaco and Canada was a fantastic 2 wins on the trot for Hills are up, the Greek driver, and the Mercedes, brilliant stuff as well. If he can get some consistency, he is definitely a force to be reckoned with as well. Of course, we also have the consistency. Samster, I think he's been the fastest driver overall. It's like McLaren in 2005, really, isn't it? Where Samster has been absolutely flying out there. Of course, with his 4 pole positions and the 3 wins, incredible stuff. But he's had a lot of DNFs. He's had 5 DNFs so far this season. He needs to stop that run of poor form, really. Otherwise he's not going to be championship contender. But luckily enough, it's so tight in the championship, isn't it? It seems like not many drivers are. No one wants to win this title, do they? It's unreal. We got. Let's just take a quick look at the drivers' championship, shall we? Whilst we're just getting ready to get going. I hope I'm a spectator. Am I a spectator? I am as well. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, Jamie is top of the tree at the moment. He's on 95 points, 2 points back as the defending champion. Vanquish had a very rare. He lost his cool, but didn't he, back in France? So very rare indeed for Vanquish. Deneen there on 88 points, and he is 7 points back. Then Samster is only 19 points behind. It's incredible, isn't it? Really, how close at the top of this is mega stuff. It really is. So yeah, we've also got of course we've got Todd, who's in the comments as well. Tess said could do a shout out. Hello, Tess. Of course, of the family's doing well. Of course, little Amy, who was born recently. Of course, Todd, who is also known as Broke Gorilla. Of course, who was driving in the Super League, wasn't he, for a couple of races earlier this season. But yeah, so I hope everything's going well. I hope everything's going well for Broke Gorilla on his side. And and again, then I think we're almost ready to get going. Then so I'm really looking forward to this. Austria can really be. It's a really difficult track, isn't it, in terms of the weather and stuff. We got 2 more drivers there waiting to come in. Of course, we got a new Haas recruitment. Of course, you may remember Dan Murphy, who used to drive in the Super League. He'll be filling that second slot now to partner Matt FNG, who made his debut last time out in France. So Haas has got a very inexperienced driver lineup, haven't they, in terms of the Elite League, but I'm sure that's definitely not going to cause any major difficulty, I don't think. Also, a big congratulations to Dan Lutonen, who is now who was in Renault, wasn't he, back in France, and flown. Unfortunately, he's had 2 DNFs to his career so far, but he's a very, very rapid driver, isn't he? But he's also been promoted to the Renault lineup as well. So absolutely brilliant stuff. And Steve IRR has gone fantastic, and to be honest, I think we're going to have a fantastic race for in this race. I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. So yeah, I can't wait for us to get going, really. To be honest, this is going to be fast and furious stuff. Traffic is going to be a major issue, I think, in the first part of qualifying. We've got to try and get 18 drivers on this course around this 2.6 mile circuit. That's going to be very difficult to do, isn't it? And as Steve's already said, love you, Sean. Oh, excellent stuff. Made my day. Look at the amount of Greeks you got in here. That's fantastic. The nations in here is absolutely brilliant stuff. Lucas, Sars, Hills are up. New Life, you're brilliant driving Belgium. I think my favourite race ever. Fantastic stuff. Summer Ellis as well. Brilliant driving in France as well. Brilliant. To be honest, you can't really think of any more superlative verbs for Summer Ellis, because he kept it so clean, didn't he? And that's how he got second position. Amazing stuff. It really was. I think that you can't. It's been mega stuff indeed. So we're about to get ready to go then around this beautiful track, and Dave has just joined us in the commentary box now. Then, so Dave, how's it going?
Very well, mate. Good afternoon, everybody. How are we all?
And well,
they can't answer back. That was just daft. How about you, Sean?
I am very well, thank you. I'm just getting over my man flu, so if I sound more manly tonight, then that's the reason why. So
improvement.
I know. I really wish I could keep this voice. I'm loving it. Yeah. So what we could go, whilst we're just about to get ready to go. What do you reckon about this track then? Do you like it? I must admit, it's a simple old track on the track map, but I think it's more to it.
It's simple, it's old school, and it's a challenge. It looks pretty straightforward, but because there's not much runoff, you've got runoff at turn 1 and turn 2, but after that, it's all grass and gravel. The last sector is a bit of a runoff, but if you get it wrong on the curves, it's going to spit you in the wall. So it's undulating. It's, I think on this game, this track is more of a challenge than Belgium, dare I say.
Oh, that's a mighty that's a mighty statement to make, isn't it?
It's a big statement, but in terms of driving on this game, this can be more of a challenge. You've got an uphill turn 1, uphill turn 2, then you've got downhill turn 3, which can be very tricky. No runoff either. Turn 4 and 5 are very, very quick left-handers. Again, not much runoff. If you get it wrong, it's going to spit you in the gravel in the wall. Very quick final sector, all downhill. Get on the curbs, it throws you off. It's a challenging track. It's like a little go-kart track. It's very short, just over a minute lap times, but it packs a punch. It's a small but punchy track.
And talking of Belgium, actually, it's also very famous on this game for its own weather system as well. It seems to rain here more than it does in Belgium as well. So, what are you drivers thinking about with that? Are you putting in some practice on like wet tracks and stuff to just be on the safe side?
This is one of them where you need a bit of wet practice, because it throws up. And again, this track is really, with the undulating surface, the undulating layout, this track is a real challenge in the wet. Even when it's damp, again, you can catch the curves. You rely on the curves quite a lot around here. You do use quite a lot of curves in some of the corners. When it's wet, you've got to completely, of course, change your racing style. But going down the hill, uphill braking is a little bit easier, but down the hill, especially turn 3, last sector, that is a real challenge. And of course, get the car slowed down in turns 1 and 2 from 2 big long straights is also a big challenge.
It is, and choice. I'm a little gutted they've got rid of the gravel trap in the final couple of turns, but I must admit those sausage curves can launch you in the air, can't they? Especially if you cut the final corner. If you take too much of a tight line to turn 9, you will be you will be spat out, won't you? And really,
and penalties as well. It's a little bit unforgiving on penalties if you run wide out there.
I think sometimes these penalties can be quite harsh here, but I think it'd be good. I think it's very good for policing the police. Oh, Maxi there going onto the grass there, so the track wasn't wide enough around there coming up to turn 2. But yeah, I wish the real life Formula 1 guys would actually police the track limits as well as they do on the game. We got 3 DRS zones around here, which is great to see. Of course, it's between turn 3 and turn 4, the downhill turn 4. Well, turn 3 really, isn't it? We're not MotoGP. We've also got one. I think we've got one coming up from turn 1 to 2 as well. And
we do.
Is there? I think there's one also on the start-finish straight as well. So
there is. You got start-finish straight up to turn 2 and down to turn 3. Plenty of overtaking opportunities. This is a good track. It's usually quite a good race for online racing, and these guys have thrown up 9 fantastic rounds so far. So let's see what they do around in Austria. I'm really looking forward to this. I
am indeed as well. And Lucas has just said, good evening, lads. Good evening, Lucas. As As he, at the moment, he's just sat in the garage, just chilling out at the moment. The young Greek driver, just watching Maxi now in the Alfa Romeo then, as he's powering up to turn 2 and 3 then. And you see him using quite a lot of ERS already. Is this track quite ERS hungry around here? Is it, do you have to manage that ERS? You can't just turn up to 5 and hope for the best?
Not too bad. 1, it's a short lap. 2, it's very stop-start. Long straights followed by big braking zones, especially into turns 1, 2 and 3. Later on in the lap it gets a little bit quicker, but the first sector and the middle sector sort of help you out of those quite a lot. But I'm expecting a very, very close qualifying. With the very short track we have around here, it's a very short lap time. Qualifying is always super close, and I think even in Q1 right now, Q2 and the battle for pole, I think we're going to see some super close times. I reckon this field is going to be separated by probably less than 2 seconds easy.
It really is, and also traffic as well, because it's such a short lap as well. Traffic's going to be a major problem as Maxi goes fast on 057. What a way to start off qualifying. It's a very short track as well, isn't it? So how are we going to do? How can you deal with traffic as a driver? Do you just jump out of people's way, or is it kind of like?
Well, it's tricky because it's a short track. You get less time to warm up your tyres. So you know if you're in traffic and start your qualifying lap, you want to really back off and probably sacrifice sector 1 to get a nice big gap and then sort of go for it for the rest of the outlap. But I'm watching Janine now and he's stuck in a whole heap of traffic starting his fast lap. He's just making his way through it on his outlap. So yeah, it's a short lap. You don't get much time to warm up these tyres to start your flying lap, and traffic is the last thing you want. So you've got to be a bit smart. You've got to have a little bit of racecraft.
And we've already gone through the championship earlier on, but I was saying about how close it was on. That we was also touching on Samster as well, of how he's had 5 DNFs, but he's only 19 points behind the championship leader. That is just incredible, isn't it? How he's so close.
Samster needed that win in the last race, and my word, he just won it. But that was crucial. With Vanquish struggling, with Jamie just about scoring a couple of points, and Deneen not scoring max. Samster made huge ground. Now his championship starts now. You know, he can get back on track after last week's win, build up the momentum. What an opportunity for Samster, and he's already quickest so far this session. But there are so many drivers in this grid, as we saw last week and as we've seen in the previous races. Always 2 cars are off at turn 1. Deneen is one of them. There's a Salva also way off the track. But so many drivers in this field can win a Grand Prix. So many can get pole. We saw last week with T-Sammy. You know, what a result. It's by far his best finish ever in IRC. Second place, just lost that win in the race. You know, these races are unpredictable. You've got to stay in it till the end. Any of these drivers can bring up a massive surprise.
And of course, Samarella's got that second on the second in the running order on France, because he didn't have any penalties at all, I don't think. So that could be crucial around today. That would be that's going to be very crucial today, don't you think? Of course, we touched on penalties as well.
Always crucial, yeah, always crucial. You want to. The thing is, it can impact your driving style, trying to avoid penalties, especially when you've got 2 warnings in a race and you're 1 away from a penalty. You sort of, it's placed in the back of your mind. You sort of go a little bit slower around certain corners, a little bit more cautious, and you lose actually quite a bit of time trying to avoid getting that 3rd warning and a penalty. And then when you do get it, the reins are sort of off. You're sort of, right, well, I've got 2 for it, so now I'm going to go for it again. It's like I stand for the dumper session. Psychologically, the warnings and the penalties do play on your mind as a driver.
And Jamie, of course, the man who's leading the championship mode, has just gone 7th fastest mode on a 0.53 there. I'm wondering if he might be struggling getting out there at the moment. Flying Sauce is actually flying at the moment. He's into 4th position at the moment in the McLaren. Nicely done. Very good lap indeed.
That looked good. Interesting. By the way, the guy at the bottom, Australian Jack, is Ozone Liston. It's the same guy. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he can score his first points on board. I'm just on board with him now. Again, the commentators cursed last week, and he's running a bit wide. And in fact, he's run very wide at last turn. That could be being validated, but hopefully a bit of luck for Ozone. This is a track. This is a race. As we've seen with all these races, it can be a bit of a lottery. It can be a bit of pot luck, and if he can stay in the race till the end and just survive, you know, he can find himself in some points. as Domingo's 5th, and he is done.
I'm glad you actually talked about Ozone there, because I was literally just about to, because I was on board, Jack, when we was just talking about Ozone, and I'm glad you said that, because I was going to say we're on board the debutant there, so you saved me there. So hopefully Ozone with a change of name can also hopefully have a change of luck as well in that racing point. Just on board with Hills Rap at the moment. Of course, Hills Rap just commented. He said he was talking about his DNFs and also being more consistent as well. But those two races in Monaco and Canada, where he absolutely showed some pace, didn't he, in that Mercedes? So really, is that rain? No, don't worry, it's just my camera going funny. I was getting a bit excited.
Hilsarap's a driver that could have won in Belgium as well. He's a guy who can easily, for me, win a couple of races and also get himself in a championship hunt. He's had bad luck. Belgium was bad luck. Along with Lucas in that race. I think he retired in lap 1 in the race last week. But this is a man who can easily win a couple of races and re-kickstart his championship. You know, I am not ruling out this man. There's just so many guys you can't rule out. This is an incredibly close championship. And I wouldn't roll guys, is Ozone's done? Has he crashed? I think he's crashed.
No, that's a big shame for Ozone. Trying to see where it is. I think it was
again.
It was I figured in turn 1 there. That was a bit unfortunate for Ozone. Just watching Hills Rap then come around the final corner, and I definitely agree with you, Dave. To be honest, as Hills Rap goes third fastest, 95 points separates the whole of the championship. That includes the guys that haven't scored yet either. 95 points after 10 rounds is just unheard of in online racing.
We're halfway through the season. You know, there is. So we have seen the first 9 rounds have been absolutely unpredictable. We've not been able to predict one race, the winner or podium. These have been sometimes a complete lottery. The racing, it sounds like, it's just luck that wins these races or gets podiums, but the racing's been fantastic, in your words, fantastic. And it's down to the caliber of drivers we've got on this grid. The standard is just outstanding. The racing's outstanding. The pace is outstanding. As you can see now, the top 14, 15 are separated by 1.6, and they're not even pushing to the full. I've seen some drivers, like New Life now, is on a flying lap. His is on 0, so they're not pushing to the max yet. We're going to see some good stuff coming up.
Really looking forward to the second half of the season. I can't believe it's already halfway through already. And I think that some of it might. I don't think all of it's been. Some of it hasn't been luck at all, has it? Really? I mean, in Belgium, that was a great strategy call from Yor, wasn't it? Brilliant stuff from both JB and Yor.
Yeah, strategies have decided Belgium. We also done a couple of races. Was it?
Australia comes to mind as well.
Australia springs to mind. Spain springs to mind as well, with Dutch Dave, who stopped later than everybody else and had the fresher tyres at the end to charge up to second place. Dutch Dave TGG Navy, who could also get a podium. You know, Yor's back. He's only a reserve driver, but he's shown some fantastic pace. By the way, Yor and our man New Life are 2 reserve drivers, although they're quite regular at the moment. But we've asked them for full-time seats, but they're staying with reserve drivers. They can't fully commit. But Dan Lutonian is now a full-time driver, and Dan Murphy makes a return to the IRC, and he will be replacing Carter, the other Haas teammate with Matt FNG. So welcome back, Dan Murphy. He's trying to step up from the Super League to Elite League. Unfortunately for Carton, he's out for the season. I think it's something to do with his steering wheel's not great at the moment.
Yeah, it's to us, unfortunately, had an issue with the steering wheel in France as well, didn't it? Which basically ruined that whole event for him, which is such a shame for Carton as well.
Real shame to Carton.
Carton was 4th in the championship last year. He had some phenomenal battles as well. I feel he would have been a lot higher as well if he had a bit more consistency in the championship last year. But this season, he started off so well in Australia, but it hasn't really come to fruition, has it, since Australia? Big shame for Carton.
It hasn't. And of course, we're missing Slim today, who sadly can't be here this week. And you know, he was so unlucky last week. You know, with that puncher, that was just such bad luck for young Slim, who was on for a great result after coming driving through the field. You know, his championships, he's not out of it. You know, the second half of the season, he again is a race winner, a very capable man of stringing a few race wins together. But Vanquish, you know, it's time for him to bounce back. The first time since the Elite League's been going, this man has lost his championship lead to Jamie. And this is see what he's made of. See what the champion's made of. 2-time champion from the last 2 championships, one in the Super League, one in the new Elite League. He's going around against his 3rd lap, by the way. So just doing a bit of practice. Also got a bit of fuel on board, so he's 3 seconds down. But wow, we've got a hell of a championship vanquished under some pressure for the first time probably I've ever seen. So it's going to be interesting to see what he's made of.
It really is indeed. And talking of under pressure, at the moment we have got Dan Lutonen, who's just come in the pits, who hasn't set a time yet in the drop zone. So is Ozone. Unfortunately for Ozone, he is not going to take part in qualifying anymore. New Life is also the drop zone, as is Summerless as well. It's we still got 5.5 minutes to go, so there's still plenty of time to get out there, especially on this track. Really, you can get out there with with like less than a minute and a half to go. It's incredibly quick, isn't it?
You know, you could. It's great that we're going to have another competitive Q1, another 19 drivers here today, 20 last week. Really full pack competitive grid. And Q1, like I said last week, these guys are now under pressure in Q1. You've got to get laps in. You've got to be fighting and competitively. Whereas before at the start of the season, these guys were used to just taking it easy in Q1, having it as a practice. But now you can't be caught out because look, New Life, T Sammy, Maxi. Probably Dutch Dave as well can't settle there on 14th. In fact, if the pack is so close as predicted, a lot of these guys are under pressure. Dan Lutonian needs to get a lap done. As you can see, New Life is now out, T. Samarales is now out, Maxi is now out, Dutch Dave is going to have to come out, Lucas Blaz is going to have to, he is out there as well. So this is going to be a fun 4 minutes coming up, Sean.
It is indeed, and I was going to ask you, what's the cut-off point? But as I was looking up, there isn't really an obvious cut-off point, is there? I'm going to be honest. I think it's kind of a finger up in the air and kind of see what happens, really, isn't it?
There's drivers stuck in traffic here. This is exactly what we're talking about at the start. New Life just found himself stuck in some traffic. He's had to back off out of it. His tyres are going to cool down from that now. He's going to have to get on the gas and push again. Pressure on New Life. He's about to start his lap. I think T. Sammy is also out there on his lap, and I think Maxi is also as well. So here we go. This is it.
Now this is where it gets into the business end of the session. Now Samarellas didn't improve. He was 700 seconds slower than his last time there from Samarellas, so he might need to knuckle down and have another crack at that. But he's done 2 laps on those soft tyres. That could make or break your qualifying session. As you said, David, so close at the moment. It's a whisker between each of these drivers. We're just watching New Life coming on the back straight now.
1 second separating the top 15. Absolutely unbelievable. We said it's going to be close. This is going to be really close. And the hero from France, T. Sammy, is under real pressure. New Life as well. Daniel Lutonian, who also had a good race in France. Dutch Dave is going to be sweating a bit. And Lucas, this is going to be very interesting. A good lap here from New Life so far, though.
He is. He's a bit twitchy when I was on board with him. I'm not sure if that was his racing line or if that's a bit of lag. But we're on board with... just coming into the final couple of corners now. He's having all sorts going on there. Lovely stuff.
A bit of lag there from New Life, but this is a big lap for the.
He hasn't improved.
Right
now. He hasn't.
I think was it? I don't know what happened there. I don't think it counted actually, but he's down on theirs as well, so he's going to have to. He's got probably time to pit and go again. But that's horrible lag for New Life. That's could be a problem. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But New Life could be done. Flying Soz is done in 10th. That may not be good enough. Let's have a look. I think Flying Soz, James Denis, 11th is done as well. I would not settle on that. Maxi's in. Maxi will have time to go again, hopefully. This is going to be very interesting.
I'm really surprised by that because what is track evolution like around here then? Because I'm sure it's going to be Dan Lutonian goes 8 fastest, and just as you said, Dave, that is going to cause all sorts of headaches for Deneen and Jamie, who are both part of the championship fight. So that is going to cause real headaches for them if they're knocked out of Q1 here. Just watching Blaz, he's coming through the second section now. But yeah, what's track evolution like around here? Is it major?
It's like any track. It will evolve. It's nothing major around it. I've never found track evolution to be as New Life's done, so that puts the pressure off them a little bit. But it's never anything that special. T. Sammy also done, so it's now down to Blaz could be under pressure. So Maxi, Lucas, and TGG Navy, Dutch Dave. I don't know guys watching. Who's going to miss out here? Who's your money on? This could be absolutely fascinating right now. Blaz could be under pressure. Blaz's AI car's just crashed.
Yeah, and I think New Life New Life also retired on the straight there, which didn't help. I think it was Blas who might have been going for another lap, but unfortunately the AI was kind of there. So and I hope
big lap right now for Lucas. I'm on board with Lucas. He's just starting his lap. This is huge. Dutch Dave also out there. Maxi is not going to get out in time. So Blas is under threat. Blas is really under pressure. Look at the times down the bottom. 1 second, 9.963, 9.44. Maxi's definitely done, so he will now be watching Lucas and Dutch Dave, and as will Blas, because Blas and Maxi could lose out here. I was tipping Blas as Maxi's done. I was tipping Blas to be right up there. So this could be a bit of a shock early on.
it is indeed. This is the early doors as well. Lucas is safe at the moment, but what is your definition of safe? Because I wouldn't say that's safe, but he is in qualifying at the moment.
Only two drivers can improve. If Lucas and Dutch Dave improve ever so slightly, both Maxi and Blas are gone. Deneen is just going to survive. Here comes Lucas now with 5 seconds. That could be invalidated.
He's gone wide, hasn't he? That could cost him, is it? No, he's fine. He's through. Maxi's now on the cusp as well. What could Navy do? As Navy's now 3/10 of a second up. That is more than enough. He just needs to keep the momentum now through the final sector then. That's a beautiful shot there from car 21. And now Navy then. Dutch Dave is coming through the final couple of corners now. These corners are very difficult, aren't they, Dave? You can invalidate. You can make or break your lap. What's he doing? He comes across line. Wow, within track limits. Beautifully done. What does Navy do? He's through. And unfortunately, out is Maxi. That is a big blow for Maxi. Samarelas, New Life, and Jack are all out at the first qualifying session. And those are some big names.
Look at the time, Sean. 1 second separates the top 16. We are in for a treat.
And I think it was 100th of a second separated Maxi and Lucas, whether that was whether he was going to stay in or go out. So that is incredible, isn't it? You can't do much in a 100th of a second, can you? Blimey, incredible stuff.
No, that and we're going to get that in the next 2 sessions as well. This is going to be really fun to watch. But it's Samster who the momentum from the last race carrying over. But Matt FMG, by the way, had a really good French Grand Prix last week before it all unravelled for him quite quickly actually. So he could be a threat.
Yeah, I'm really looking for, because the French Grand Prix was a bit of an odd one last week, wasn't it? Where especially the safety car at the end really threw a spanner in the works, didn't it? And it was kind of dare you say it was luck of the draw? It was probably about strategy as well, really. But I feel there's a lot of hard.
There was bad luck for was it Dave who was taken out by a spinning car? Who was that spinning car? It was Dutch Dave, and I know Dutch Dave was the innocent victim, but who was it? Is it Maxi? Is it Maxi that lost it in the Alpha? I can't remember who. It's a 2-car crash coming out of the chicane. I think it was Maxi. He had front wing damage, got on the curb and just unfortunately lifted the rear tyres and spun. I think it's a Dutch Dave. Anyone on there watching on YouTube, comment below. Also, anyone watching YouTube, who's your tips for pole, guys? Who are you all supporting out there? I know a lot of Greek viewers out there, a lot of Dutch viewers out there as well, and of course British and European viewers. Who are you all tipping today? Who is your tip for pole? Who are you all supporting? Let us know on the comments. This is going to be... T. Sammy says, last time in France I started from 17th. I'm going to start again from 17th. Just saying. Good point, T. Morales. And Dutch Dave says it was Flying Soz. Flying Soz. Yeah, that's right. Flying Soz had the front wing damage and unfortunately went straight into Dutch Dave. And Karting says, come on, Vanquish. I don't know. Who's your tip for pole, Sean?
I'm not going to. I don't want to, because every time I tip myself for pole position, it goes awfully wrong for that driver. So I think that's a bit unfair on me, isn't it? I must admit, though, judging from the pole positions from the previous races this season, there's 4 for Samster, 3 for Jacob. Surely them two have got to be in the conversation, haven't they? For pole position today, been fantastic in terms of qualifying. The races themselves haven't really gone well for both drivers, but as we mentioned before, I keep saying this, but the championship is ridiculously close. I've never witnessed anything like it. And when it's like, Samster's lost it into turn 9. That's why I shouldn't tip anyone for pole position.
Wow.
That's
on the curve. That's what I was saying before commentary, before we just started qualifying. You get out on those curbs, or this runoff, it just throws you off. And then, he's in a horrible position right now, isn't he? He's going to find a gap on the map to try and get back on track. That may be invalidated as well. But his tyres are cold, they're muddy. This is a horrible start for Samster. And he's on the medium tyres as well, so he needs this to be a good lap. He wants to start on mediums for the race.
Indeed, of course, the top 10 do start on the medium tyres. That's why we've got all sorts of mixture of colours. Well, I'd say we have.
And now he's got Hillside. In fact, he's backed off, and that's probably the wisest thing to do, and then try and go again. Karting says Sam to get pole and Vanquish to win. Well, Sam's in a little bit of trouble right now, and he's backed off this lap as he came out behind the Williams, I think. Of Deneen, yeah.
So is it because we was just watching Samster and we didn't really get a good shot of it. Is it because he took too much of the curb in turn 8 and it just spat him off? Is these curbs very can be deadly?
It is down this downhill bit. It's downhill off camber. You hit the inside curb, it unsettles the car. Hit the outside curb, it can literally spit you out, especially because it's offside camber. It's a horrible corner to get wrong, and it can mess up your lap because, like I said, this track is so short. The times are so close. Little mistakes like that massively cost you around here. Blaz is done. That is nowhere near good enough for Blaz, I don't think. I'm going to call it now. These times are so close. I don't think that's enough for Blaz, unless he's binned it out on track. But
I don't think he has. It's,
look at the front three. Look at the front three.
Oh wow, 200 of a second separates Vanquish and Deneen. That's incredible stuff, isn't it? Samster's on the second go now. He's 2 seconds up in the first sector. Loving the gold helmet, by the way. Brilliant stuff as well. Dan Lutonen is just on board the Renault drive now. Of course, as Dave said, now a permanent driver, the newest member to the Renault family. So let's see what he can do as well. I think he's just about to build up for a lap, so we'll come back to Lutonia in a bit because we're going to stay with Samster at the moment. Of course, as we said, he's had 3 wins this season, but unfortunately he's either won or has got a DNF against his name. So consistency has to be the name of the game, doesn't it? Really. But I must admit, a lot of drivers out there haven't really nailed the consistency thing this season.
So Deneen goes second. Look at the top 4, less than a tenth.
And what Samster's thrown his hat in the ring as well. And look at that! Wow, that's incredible! 0.5 of a second in front. Well, blimey. Well, he was definitely saving that one, wasn't he? Samster really showing them some speed out there in that racing point. Fantastic stuff from Samster at the moment. Lutonen only goes at 9th fastest, so I think he's made a mistake. So we're just watching Jamie at the moment. Remember, Jamie's leading the championship, albeit by 2 points, but it's still a lead nonetheless. I think he's on a cooldown.
You know what? I look at the championship. I completely forgot Crazy Power. Crazy Power's still in the mix. He missed last week, but he's only 33 points off. You know, has he won a race this year? Crazy Power. Has he just been super consistent? I didn't know he was that high up there.
He's very consistent. He started off with two podiums. Unfortunately, he missed China. Then he came back and got a 3rd position in Azerbaijan. But unfortunately, since then, he's been kind of hit and miss, really. He's had a lot of did not starts, unfortunately, for Crazy Power. But yeah, I think I was really impressed with Crazy Power at the start of the season. He was a midfield runner, wasn't he, with the Sauber team last season? And this season, he was Australia was a mega race from him, and Jacobs retired as well. I'm not sure about this, Dave. I think that this is a bit too premature, isn't it?
And look at the time. Look, Vanquish 4/10, Deneen 5/10, Jacob 5/10, Hills are at 5/10, Matt FNG 5/10. Blaz, I think, has retired way too early, unless he wants to start outside the top 10. But Jamie had his first lap invalidated, so he's going to have to go around again those mediums, put an extra lap of wear on them. This is I can't call this. This could be interesting. Who's going to gamble for softs and try and get the top 10? Because it's that close. You put soft tyres on, you will cruise through to the top of the timesheets, let alone top 10.
Yeah, and surely you would say the track. I know it's quite easy to overtake around here, but would you rather be at the top of the timesheets? Jamie goes 8th fastest at the moment, top of the timesheets, so that you're not involved in the midfield madness, so to speak. Because it's very easy to lose your front wing in the carbon fibre zone.
Yeah, with turn 1 and turn 2 being super tight. I know there's runoff, but that runoff usually gives you a warning or a penalty. And, you know, contact's inevitable in the midfield. I would not want to be starting midfield. Flying Soz is out there on softs at the moment, so let's see what Flying Soz does. This could put him to the top of the timesheets, and then especially Vanquish, Matt, Hilserath, Deneen, all rethink what they're going to do. Look at Lucas has just popped in there. Top 9 separated by a second. Dutch Dave is surely going to go again.
You're unfortunately had his lap invalidated again, so he's going to have to go again. Flying Sauce just coming around to complete a lap now. I remember in the Super League last season, Dave, there was a big old smash, wasn't there, in turn 1? There was a lot of controversy as well, if I remember in the chat. It was good fun to read. But I remember Flying Sauce has done a 5-0 there, brilliant stuff.
There you go.
But I think
he's in the top 10, and that's the soft. But yeah, that was a big old smash. Someone got turned around and touched. That's when ghosting was off. So it meant everybody else just literally piled into everybody at turn 1. That was a real mess. I think I was involved in that, actually. I think I got crunched. I think I made it out and then hit the back of Roscoe as he was trying to avoid another accident which had just happened on the exit of turn 1. So I looked behind to see all the carnage unfold and hit straight in the back of Ross, avoiding another accident. But that really wiped out the whole field, that one.
It did indeed. I only remember it because I was so bad at the back. I basically just crawled around there. So that's the reason I remember it. It was a good old smash, that one was. I must admit, I enjoyed the Austrian Grand Prix last year. It was fantastic stuff.
This is why drivers like Ozone starting last is why he's going to have to take it easy at the start and just let everybody else sort of bump into each other, lose front wings, damage wings, and just pick your way through. It's because I'm predicting, we're going to see quite a few cars in lap 1. It's usually standard round here.
And where are the crunch points then? We've mentioned turn 1. What about turn 2 and then into turn 3? Do you think there are action points as well, or is the field usually calmed down by then?
Turn 3 is interesting. It's downhill, and there's 2 ways in. You can brake a bit later, but the exit sort of widens out, so you can style it out, or you can brake early and take a nice tight line into turn 3, so it's a good overtaking zone. There shouldn't be contact in turn 3. The rest of the track is pretty much not overtaken until you get back on the start-finish straight. It's pretty much single file. Again, it was very off camera. The chicanes definitely one at a time. Short straights, then the final 2 corners. If you're ballsy, if you're brave, you can possibly try and move down there, but you have to be going some and be well ahead as well, because that's an accident waiting to happen if you don't pull that off.
And also, I would also throw in the chicanes of 7 and 8, 6 and 7, because I must admit I've found myself in the wall plenty of times on the inside there. If it rains later on today, that's going to be very perilous, isn't it, for the drivers? How do you make it around there without crashing into the wall? Because every time it rains around here, I seem to be in the wall.
Caution, good setup. You need a completely different setup, and you need plenty of downforce because. And feather that throttle. BP is on the cusp here as well. He had a first lap invalidated. It looks pretty overcast now as well. I don't know what the drivers could let us know the forecast in the comments or something, but yeah, you need plenty of downforce. Put the front wheel on, you need the front to stick and get you into the corners. You downforce in that last sector, but then you compromise your straight speed, don't you? So it's a bit of it's a bit of damned if you do and damned if you don't.
And at the moment we've got just under 5 minutes to go. Blaz is
Jamie on soft.
Jamie's on soft, so this is where it's going to get really interesting indeed. At the moment, look at the drop zone. Jamie, Lucas, Dan Lutington, BP, and Yor. And remember that there is 2 winners in that group down there. That's in the drop zone. That's incredible stuff. It's going to be a very feisty 4.5 minutes. I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be absolutely fantastic stuff. This is going to be absolutely brilliant stuff. BP is out there on track. Well, he's on the medium tyre still. I wonder if he might abandon this lap and come back in for the soft tyre. Because he's 8 seconds out.
If I was BP, I would possibly debate him putting some softs on, because he's now done 2 flying laps on those mediums and done absolutely nothing. Is he going to pit this lap and put on some softs? He's going again. So if he doesn't improve this lap by much, he's wow, what a save by BP. I thought he lost it in the final turn there. But that's not quick. That's not the halfway round, and doesn't improve. So he's done 3 laps on those mediums. He's going to have to leg it round, put some softs on, and go again. BP is really on the cusp here. That's a bit of a surprise.
Oh, he's retired. Oh dear. So that's not good news for BP. Is there an advantage for starting outside the top 10 here around Austria? Because I'm just wondering why we've had 3 retirements in this session. Because I thought that the higher up the grid you are, the better it be. Is it really that bad to be starting on the soft tyres?
Soft tyres will give you a big old jump, especially off the line, and it's a bit of a stretch into turn 1 and a nice long straight into turn 2. Soft tyres is if you want to be aggressive at the start, it's the way to go. And tyre wear is not massive around here, so it's a shame BP hasn't kept that going. Obviously, people could even start on the hard tyres. But yeah, interesting call. Although BP would have been tough to get back and out again on time. Maybe he doesn't want to use a set of softs. Maybe it's going to rain in the race and he doesn't need to use. Maybe he doesn't care about tyres. I'm not sure.
That's a very good point, actually. We've been talking about rain, then I completely forgot about the strategy calls, isn't it? There could, yeah, if there is rain, then you can start on any tyres you like if it's intermediate or wet conditions at the start of the race. But yeah, I'm quite. I was just thinking that if there seems to be a lot of people that have given up the Ghost quite early in qualifying, and wonder if there's a big advantage to start on fresh tyres around here. But what you're saying, it doesn't seem to be. So it's a bit of an odd situation, this, isn't it?
No, as the sun comes out, so the overcast is gone. Hills are up out on softs. Lucas about to start a lap on softs. The guys like Jacob and Blaz are going to be sweating a bit, especially Blaz. But Blaz is definitely not going to make it because Lucas on softs is definitely going to improve. Hills are up out on softs. But not only that, but Crazy Power, Deneen, they're going to be looking over their shoulder now and thinking, are we safe? Are we not? This is going to be... They've only got a minute 50 to make up their minds. In fact, they've probably got about 20 seconds to make up their mind what they're going to do. So, if you're going to make your move, do it now. Your surprisingly is also out, and Jamie needs to go now, or he's out.
He was out. He's just out of the garage on the soft tyres, and he's come back in. So I'm not sure what Jamie's doing now, but yeah, you're right. This is getting very, very close indeed. It's going to be like Monza qualifying all over again, isn't it? Oh, Navy's retired as well. So that's a big blow. We've got a couple of drivers going for softs.
So here we go, but Jamie's going out on medium tyres. So that's interesting. Jamie going back out on the medium tyres. Dan Lutonian out on the softs. So they're going for it. Yours coming out now, but he's going to have to leg it round to get his...
Lucas has gone to third. Brilliant time.
Well done, Lucas. So who's under pressure? Deneen, Crazy Power, some championship contenders. Jamie, we've got some Blazers, a championship contender. He's out. BP is out. We've got this is going to be fun. James in the mediums still may not do it, by the way.
I don't think
this needs to get a big lap.
He is. There is going to be some. There's going to be some mighty sweaty palms, isn't there? Now Hills right cut across the final corner. Now you can see he hit almost the sausage curve on the inside, but he might have got away with that. He has got away with that. That's a great time there from Hills up in a 4:06. Now this is the business end of qualifying. So Lucas and Hills up through. Do you reckon that's a safe?
Traffic galore. Deneen stuck in traffic behind. Oh, well, in the Taurus will get out of the way. Call this. I don't know. Jamie. Deneen's out, but it's too late, surely. 14 seconds left. Is he going to make it? This is touch and go. 10 seconds. I don't think Deneen's going to make it.
No, yeah.
Down the last 6 points now. 7 seconds.
Wow, this is going to be close. He's made it.
He made it.
Wow.
Okay. Blaz is out. Jacob's on the cut. Deneen should get through. What about Jamie then? Jamie on mediums. This could push Vanquish out, guys. This could push Vanquish out. Could push Touch Dave out. Could push Deneen out. This is interesting right now. 4 drivers to improve. Oh, actually no, it won't because Blaz and BP have gone. So I think Vanquish is just safe. However, Crazy Power could go and Dutch Dave.
Jamie on the cusp there. I thought he might have been about it this time. It's gone wide again. Is that it for Jamie? We'll find out. In it. Oh, he's not through.
Yeah, he didn't do it.
He's not through. Oh no. And
the gamble didn't work on the mediums. I said it's too close. It's too close for that. He should have played it safe. Championship leader will start outside the top 10. What can Yor do?
Yor might to knock out Jacob as well. Remember, Jacob is on the cusp as well. What's he going to do? Yor! He's third! He's third. Deneen just about makes it through. Is he going to abandon this lap? He has abandoned this lap then. So Deneen covering it safe.
Danley's only abandoned his, so Danley's only didn't improve. Wow. Championship leader starts 12th, right in the mix of Blast. And some shocks there. Jacob as well is a good qualifier. And BP, so that's a good surprise.
Wow, that is I must admit that's but the championship leader's had a bit of a shocker there, hasn't he? Do you feel that he really needs to take that risk of trying to start on the mediums? Do you feel that it would have been better for him just to go on the softs and just because
it was I don't know what he's obviously he's going to start on whatever he wants now. If I was him I'd go mediums now, but unless he genuinely is struggling around here, that's a bit of a surprise. Greek 1235, by the way, so the Greek drivers loving it round here. Dan Newtonian, big trouble for him as well. And I want to keep an eye on the back at the start, because there's some big, fast drivers down there who've been wanting to get a move on and get through the grid pretty quickly.
Jacob, Jamie, Blaz, Lutonian, and BP all out. That's those 5 drivers. You don't class them as midfield runners. It's incredible, isn't it? How they've all been knocked out. Jamie, a big blow for Jamie, isn't it? In the championship, to be honest, you can't really afford mistakes like that if you want to win this championship. It's going to be so close. And with and if anything's to go by, I'm really thinking that Samster, after his win in France, I think he might want to start to push on now. So, but as I said, anything can happen, can it? Because we thought that after Bahrain, where Samster, the rerun in Bahrain, he looked phenomenal, didn't he? But it just once again, he's been struggling for consistency. But in France, though, he looked phenomenal, didn't he, Dave? I'm struggling to look past him.
Samster again is my tip for pole. I can't see past Samster for this. I've not seen enough, unless some of these guys in sandbagging. We've got everybody coming up. I look at it, 2 Ferraris, a Haas, a Williams.
It's like the M1 on a Friday afternoon. It's incredible stuff.
Real good. So I can't see past Samster unless somebody pulls a magic lap out the hat, but we haven't seen that yet. Samster is probably my favourite right now. Behind, who knows? What I will predict is this pack will be separated by maybe no more than half a second.
And how do you manage that, Dave? Because half a second is absolutely nothing, is it? So how do you manage the pressure? Do you what do you do? Do you how do you get out of your mind? Do you just like not think about it? I know it's easier to say.
Yeah, you don't think about it. You just go for it. When you're on your flying lap, you just go for it anyway. You don't think about it. Where you finish. However, tendency is the last car of the line round here usually has the best of the track. I found in racing online, especially in league racing, that qualifying goes to the bubble. It usually is last car out, last car over the line. Usually improves the biggest. So I reckon we'll have this now and then nothing till about 1.5 minutes to go.
And Matt now starts his lap then in the Haas, of course. So let's see what he can do. He chucks it into turn 1, fantastic stuff. And now he accelerates away down the hill, coming into turn 2. DRS is enabled, and it is wide open the rear wing. Car 98 in the American-owned Haas team. Of course, unfortunately, they won't have the Rich Energy logos on their cars anymore after the sponsors have split from the team, which a bit unfortunate because I must admit I quite like the gold and black. I think they're keeping the gold and black, yeah, hopefully. But to us, I think that Rich Energy did sound a bit dodgy from some of the stories that you read over the past couple of weeks, especially the Silverstone weekend.
Yeah, something wasn't quite right there. But this is fascinating. I'm riding on board with Deneen. I think he's actually catching Matt FMG. This looks a super lap from Deneen, but Matt will be the first one to cross the line.
Yeah, I think there's been a bit of a scrappy lap from Matt as he's just coming around the final corner now. And, lovely shot. I love the Austrian curves around here. Beautiful shots. He's run out of hers and he's fast at the moment, so he's done all right there. But I'm waiting for Deneen. Oh, Deneen's 3 tenths of a second off the pace.
Had a scrappy last sector from Deneen. Got all over the curbs, upset the car. Your splits him.
Oh, and then Vanquish got a second.
Then splits them, and look at these times. I love it.
Wow.
Hills lap, scrappy lap.
And then Lucas goes up, and then Sam Server 0.3 at 0.39. That's incredible stuff.
That is insane. That's insane. Wow, 103.
That is, I'm torn. I'm nearly far off my chair. That's amazing time. 103. I don't know. When Dave comes back, hopefully I want to know if Dave, you've ever seen the time run, because that is amazing stuff.
Not at 103. Well, low 104s, yeah, but 103.984. Are you kidding me? Everyone else is fighting for second. That from Samster is absolutely outstanding. But as we saw in France, his starts haven't been great this season, so he's going to need that power advantage.
That is mega stuff from Samster. Remember, this is not time trial. This is time trial, I should say. This is cars in race performance mode. So the tires are not. You have to get the tires in optimum temperature yourself. The earth is being drained. So this is not where the car's at a perfect stage all around the lap. So that is an incredible time from Samster. Amazing stuff from the Canadian driver. I'm absolutely...
Crazy Power's heading out now, wants the track to himself, which is a wise move. This is what I may do tomorrow if I get to this stage, because everyone's gone out early, back themselves in traffic, and Crazy Power, the Italian, now has the whole track to himself, has all the TV time to himself, and let's see what the Italian's made of here. I don't think we'll see the rest of them until probably about 2 minutes to go now for their final runs, unless they fancy 3 laps at it, but have they got the tyres? I don't think so.
Well, that's a very good point, actually, Dave, isn't it? Do you reckon that even just going out on a scrub set of soft tyres would benefit any of these drivers, perhaps, or do you feel that you're just going to go for 2 and just have this next couple of minutes?
Well, even if you're doing 2 laps, usually the first drivers will do 1 lap on the scruff tyres first. I think Lucas has the gap between second down to 8th, or even third, from Vanquish down to 8th, there's just nothing in it. In fact, Deneen has gone again. So, that's interesting. He's going to try a free run. If he's got the tyres to do it, why not? Out on a new set of softs as well. So, if you go for the soft tyre option at the start before qualifying and race, it does allow you, all you've got is soft tyres, so and 1 set of mediums, so you can do this. So I reckon his first lap was on scrub soft. This will now be a new set of softs. We'll do this. In fact, I think they're all going to do the same. A free run Q3 is like the way to go. So we're going to get plenty of action here, Sean.
Excellent stuff. I'm really looking forward to this, and brilliant. So, that law that was going on, well, that's not going to happen at all now. Obviously, they've listened to me and Dave. To us, I think they had their own qualifying program. A big old lock up there from Crazy Power coming off the off Campbell turn 3.
Lovely wide exit. That's exactly how you take this. You need a nice big wide exit, and here again, wide and then cut in. He's missed the apex. He missed the apex to the first little curve there. This bit is now crucial. You've got to hit the apexes here. Nice, a bit late on the gas there. Good curb, nice bit of curb on the exit as well. DRS wide open, out of hers. Crazy Power goes to 5th place. But somehow in that big gaggle of cars. Good luck there from Crazy Power. He will come in and go again. And now we've got some action as Vanquish starting his flying lap, along with Yor, who is on...
Sorry to interrupt you, Dave, because Deneen's in the gravel. He got a swapper on, he corrected it, and then overcorrected it, and he's gone flying off into the gravel. And, well, that's that lap done for Deneen, unfortunately. I think he'll probably come back to the pits then and just and regroup there. So we're going to just continue on with Yor at the moment. That's an unusual place to go on. Usually you go straight on down there, but... yeah, Deneen tried to catch it and then unfortunately went the other way. So it was a good save. He didn't damage the car, but unfortunately for Deneen, that's his lap over and done with, really. Yours coming through the final couple of corners now then. I must admit, when he was on power... Oh, he's coming in the pit, so a very late decision there.
Very late. I think I just saw them validate his lap. So it's a late call there. Vanquish. Been on board with Vanquish. This looks a good lap. Whether they improve and beat Max, I'm not too sure. Down the last 2 sectors. That's the curb you want. Oh, he's coming as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Here as well. So they're all coming back in. What's going on? They're just giving us some action. They're just giving.
Excellent stuff.
TV time.
To be honest, when we was on board Crazy Power, it's fine. Sols is not is going against the grain here, and he's continuing on in the McLaren, and he's going.
So far.
He's done 2 tenths second. He's gone to 6 fastest.
Look at this. 3rd, 6 tenths. 4th, 6 tenths. 5th, 6 tenths. 6th, 6 tenths. 7th, 7 tenths. 8th, 7 tenths. 9th, 7 tenths. Between Matt and Knight, it is super close. A slight improvement is going to really put you up. Dutch Dave, done in 8th. Dutch Dave doesn't seem to have the pace round here as he had in previous races.
It's it's a very difficult track. I must admit, when we was on board Crazy Power going to turn 8, it was on the seat of your pants stuff. It was fantastic. We just bypassed Dutch Dave's car. Of course, that's where Deneen, where he was watching Deneen, and he went off on the outside there, which is unusual. But yeah, the way that Crazy Power threw that car to turn 8, that was fantastic. How did you do that, Dave, time and time again for 35 laps around there? Surely that can't be done.
It comes sort of like a metronome, mate. Once you get into a groove, the car feels good, and you got good downforce, a good setup. It's easily done. You just go into your own zone. Your metronome sort of, especially if you're racing on your own and not too much traffic. If you've got a loose car like looks like Deneen had, and I was watching Ozone on, he looks like he was struggling with the rear end. then it becomes difficult. You're having to fight the car. Every lap's a challenge. It uses more concentration out of you. You know, Vanquish's car looked beautifully hooked up when I was on board with him. You know, for him, it's just, again, it's like every lap's the same. You come into a rhythm, you know your braking points, you're confident the car's going to stick, even when the tyres start wearing out as Vanquish goes out again for his final run. It's all about having a good setup. Good setup means a nice, balanced, stable car, means easy to get into a routine. You feel confident the car will under braking. With your setup, with getting the acceleration again. It's, you know, some drivers like to have low wings and loose setup to be quick on the straights, but I prefer to have a good car in the corners and sacrifice some speed. You want to feel comfortable, you want to feel confident into the corners, especially around here as well. It's such, the track is so different. The first two, sector 1, start finish straight, the big long straight sector 2, turn 2, straight sector 3. You can either run skinnier rear wings and front wings and have the speed in those, or then sacrifice the rest of your lap, or have a good car, save your tyre wear, be a bit slow on the straights, but be better on the brakes and better out the corners, have better traction and a more stable car. It's whatever your driver preferences, really.
Unfortunately, that's a great insight. Thanks for that, Dave, and I'm sure all the viewers really appreciate that. Unfortunately, Deneen didn't appreciate the fact that he went wide and is invalidated his time, so that's Deneen's first effort out the window. Luckily, he's got enough time. It's a short lap, so he's got enough time to get back around there. So hills are up. We're going to take over. No, we're just going to be on board with him now.
He's also backed off on this flying lap as well. He's let crazy power through. So I think he made a mistake into turn 1. I was seeing how stable his car looked, and then went straight on at turn 1. The crazy power is on a flyer though. But Deneen's car, exactly what I was saying. He looked quick on the straights, but then into the corners he looked so loose, and that could be a problem in the race.
That was similar for Ozone last week, wasn't it? I mean, it looked a bit leery, especially in turn 10 and 11. I must admit, I was hiding behind the pillar, really, in turn 11. Unfortunately, that did end his race. But, yeah, that's going to be very difficult for Deneen to control. And Hills are out, goes second fastest. That's a very good lap as well. As you said, Dave, just a couple of tenths, and Hilsrap has jumped up to second. He's on the front row. Fantastic stuff. Is he going to be able to go around again? I don't think he is. He's turned the ears right down there. Matt is a tenth of a second up in the first sector. Sorry, second sector.
Matt could be going a second here, guys. Matt, I don't think Samson's going to be challenged, but Matt, FNG, and then the final 2 corners now looks good. That's really tidy. That is a stable car. Good, that's fine. Got some the exit early. Ers will cut out. Wow, second. Great lap from Matt.
Oh, that looked quality, didn't it, from Matt? Of course, one of the newer drivers driving the Haas this weekend, like he did last weekend. And, yeah, he's looking comfortable in that car. He's looking comfortable in the Elites. And, Yor goes 4th fastest. Good time from Yor. Right up there. Nicely done.
I think Vanquish is done, guys. On the back straight there, Vanquish looked really slow, as if he wasn't full power. So I'm not sure Vanquish made a mistake and he's done. But here we go, everyone about to cross the line now. Vanquish, I don't think, in fact he's down in sector 2. Vanquish is not set to improve. He could be in a bit of trouble here.
Oh, Vanquish is only 5th fastest at the moment, isn't he? Deneen comes across the line, and what does he do? He goes 4th fastest for Deneen. Hillsrap's in the pit, so he's done. Crazy Power comes across the line. He goes 4th fastest. What about Vanquish? He comes across the line, and he goes 5th fastest. Wow, Vanquish has saved it there, didn't he? Got a 10th in the final sector, Vanquish. Nicely done there. Wow.
Close the time there. Lucas didn't. I don't think Lucas even did a flying. Well, he did do one flying lap, but wow. So Matt did get within 2 tenths of Samster, but this is Samster's. I think this is his race to lose again, like it was in France. Big opportunity, but the nearest championship contender is down in 5th place.
And that is Samster's 5th pole position in 5 races, so over half the qualifying sessions this year. Samster's been on pole position, so Vettel from 2010, isn't it? But the reason why it's from 2010 is because, if you remember, Dave, Vettel didn't do very well in the races, did he? He seemed to have a Red Bull that didn't like to finish. So Samster there would like to get to the finish, really, wouldn't he? Because at the moment he is only sat. Well, I say he's only sat 4th, but to be honest, after the difficult season he's had, I think it's amazing how he's sat 4th. Anyway, just quickly going through the final classification. 2 tenths of a second between Samster and Matt. That 0.39 is just a fantastic time. I must admit, I was blown away from that, Dave. I'm glad he was here, because I would have been sat in silence, just like with my jaw on the floor. Yeah, fantastic.
That's a special lap from Samster. That's probably one of his best laps. That's just a perfect lap. It must have been.
Absolutely brilliant stuff from Sam Sturr. I won't message him in a bit and ask him what he did there, because that was, I think that was like a Hamilton-esque lap, wasn't it? Where you get one of those laps where you just nail it. That was beautiful. It really was. But now it's the race time, and look at that lovely sunshine, which is very unusual around here in Austria. But yeah, but that can change very quickly, can't it, David? It seems like the rain just comes from nowhere around around these parts.
Yeah, but you're in the mountains, and you know, you've got that different climate, that mountainous climate. The rain can easily roll in up the hills, as we've seen some tracks like Belgium, Monaco as well. You know, it's got their own sort of microclimates. Italy as well is quite renowned for that. But I don't know what the forecast is. I've not heard from the guys, but we're in for a great close race. One mistake, with the time so close, one mistake in the race or an extra pit stop could massively cost you around here.
Indeed it can, and going back to the weather forecast, I would say no news is good news, really. So as the drivers are now getting ready for the formation lap. Quick question on strategy. What would you do for strategy? Is it a one stop? Is it a two stop? Is it how are the drivers going to challenge this?
I think my race was so skewed. I think I had about 5 stops last year. I had a nightmare around here. I don't think I even finished it. I imagine you probably could do medium hards. It's such a short lap, and it's quite a short pit lane. It's not the longest of pit lanes. I think these guys optimally will be doing one stoppers. I'll be watching with interest to see what to do tomorrow with this one. Medium hard, probably the soft tyres are pretty rapid around here, as we saw in qualifying. A lot quicker than mediums and a lot quicker than the hard. So, depending on what drivers want to do, I'm not sure. But Sean, you've got literally 40 seconds now to run through the grid. No
problem. So Samson taking his 5th pole position of the season. Fantastic stuff. Matt, in only his 2nd race, is on the front row. Medium tyres for both drivers. Hilserap is the man on soft tyres, so we're looking forward to see what he could do from a 3rd position. Crazy Power, brilliant qualifying from him, 4th. In front of Vanquish, 5th. Deneen in 6th position, the 2 championship rivals. This is going to be fantastic stuff. You're on soft tyres in 7th, with Flying Saws 8th, also on soft tyres. Dutch Dave, medium tyres in 9th position. Luke, and so is Jacob, Jamie and Blas, 11th, 12th and 13th. Lieutenant is medium tyres, but he's not feeling like doing the formation lap today. And nor is BP, 14th and 15th. Maxi in 16th. Samarella 17th. New Life is in 18th position, and Ozone is in 19th position, or Jack as he's called today, in car 97 in the race, at the front and the back of the grid then. So here we go.
Watch out for Hilser from the soft tyres in 3rd place, starting on the racing line as well. He's going to have a lovely jump off the line. He may fancy a look at these two ahead of him in turns 1 and 2. Great chance for Hilser. Your and Flying Saws, they've made good starts also in previous races on the soft tyres. They're going to be fun to watch as well. Keep an eye on that midfield. There could be contact. There more likely is going to be contact.
And as Jack now comes to the back of the grid, then we've got 36 laps around here. Join me and Dave, as this is going to be epic. We want all your views as well to talk us through this race. We need some of your views as well, because Dave can't help me out all the time. We got 5 sets on. When they go out, we'll be racing, and we are go. And it's a good start there from Sam Stern. Look at that, we got a Red Bull jumping out from the back, and Navy's already dropped down. But look, Matt takes the lead again. As Dave said, Sam Stern's had a bit of a bad start, but he's still in the lead now because no, they're at the wheel to wheel. No, Matt's now in the lead as well as they come up into turn 2 then, and there's all sorts going on behind. That's a Ferrari going right up the inside then. Sam Sturry takes the lead. He's burst Matt wide. Matt's onto the runoff there, and now he's dropped down the 4th position. Now Hilser is now up in the 2nd position. Matt's down the 3rd, and now Crazy Power's also all over the back of him as well as they go down the 4th. Oh, the thing on contact. There's contact with the Ferrari. Oh no, and look, he's trying to get back on the course. It's all gone wrong. Oh, he also made contact with Dutch Dave as well. Oh, blimey. As Jamie, the championship leader, is up to 9th position then. And I think Crazy Power's got damage. David, did you see what happened there?
Damage for Crazy Power. I was about to say, supreme driving from the whole field in turns 1 and 2. And it all went wrong down in turn 3. There's a Renault also with damage. I think Dan Tony may have damaged. Crazy Power will be, if he can get into the pits. Yes, just ahead of the Renault. Downley Tony, yeah, got something damaged, that could be an accident, but only 2 cars in the pits. Well done to everybody who kept that immaculately clean off the start.
It was a fantastic start, wasn't it? As we got, I think the Red Bull of New Life has really got a problem with the internet connection. Now we got BP, we got Maxi, and we got Blaz all over each other. Got up to turn 2, and oh my gosh, I thought that they was going to have an airplane crash there, but look at that. Maxi parks his car in a cracking place there, doesn't he? He's going to just run him up right. He's done a Verstappen-esque kind of manoeuvre there, and he is now, as he is defending his position very well.
Maxi, you're Jacob and Deneen are free abreast.
Oh, they are! Oh my gosh, what a move! But then, no, Jacob isn't gone on the inside.
Dave, incredible!
What a fantastic manoeuvre there from Dutch Dave. That was brilliant stuff. I've seen a bit of debris come off. I hope it wasn't. I hope it was just like a bit of rubbish, but I think it might have been a Renault front wing now. Just taking a quick look. Oh, I think it is.
It is. Jacob damage. Interesting that Blazer's on soft tyres and gone down one place at the start.
Oh, Deneen had a lunge, sorry to cut you off, Dave. Deneen's had a lunge and he crashed. That's a big crash. That's a wing gone off. There's a McLaren in the background. Oh, that's BP. Where is he? He's back on track, and oh no, it's all going slightly wrong there. Deneen's got wing damage. Remember, Deneen is right up there in the championship. Oh no.
He's got no front wing at all, Deneen. He's missed the pits.
Oh dear, it all went wrong into turn 8 there, as so Deneen is going to have to do a whole lap around here with no front wing. That is going to be appalling.
Jamie's in trouble. Just been passed by Lucas. Lucas has got through. Jamie has lost a place to Lucas.
And Lucas, where's Jamie? Jamie! Oh my gosh, he sandwiched the Greek driver, and that is a big damage there from the Toro Rosso there. Oh dear, and I think that's both end plates, isn't it, Dave? That is a big blow.
Yeah, Lucas was completely sandwiched. That is just wrong place, wrong time. So unfortunate for Lucas. But Matt has lost 2 places now. He's been part of vanquished.
Matt's gone! Matt spun it! Sorry, Dave, I keep cutting you off. And he's in the middle of the track. Oh my gosh! And he's trying to get back on, and yeah, doing a very good job there. Get back on. He's not a Vettel-esque there. He actually used he was sensible there. So blimey, but he's gone off the track now. Matt is. Oh dear, that's turn 8 as well. Of course, I think Samstra had an issue there at turn 8 in qualifying. And Matt's dropped down 11 positions, 13 positions for Crazy Power. He got Lucas in the pits there. All sorts going on, Dave. How do you sum that up so far in crazy stuff?
By the way, T7 Morales is up 7 places to 10th. He's at it again. Maxi is up 8 to 8th place. So the guys, like I said, where's Ozone? Ozone's up 5. But like I said, take it easy at the start. These guys at the back, and Deneen's out.
I think that might have been frustration from Deneen there, because he was just coming in the pits there. So it's a long race still, and safety cars that can appear around here because it's, as you said, it's an old-fashioned track. This is you can when you crash, you're going to hit a barrier around here. But wow, that was a crazy old start to the race there. There's a couple of incidents, but did you see a couple of the incidents? I think that the one we want to talk about is the one about with Deneen. Do you think? Did you see that one, Dave?
I'd have to see it again. I missed it. There's so much going on. I was trying to keep an eye on what was going on down the field as well. The free abreast incidents are just guys on the different compound of tyres with supreme confidence, especially the guys on softs, are just getting down in there, braking later, and it's just catching drivers out. But I think we need a bit more, as Deneen not happy with Jacob. Right, so this is what I thought I saw. Just like drivers trying to come into the pits, we took out a couple of drivers who weren't pitting. I've just seen Deneen was not happy with Jacob, unfortunately. I think that's what's happened. I think Jacob hasn't pitted and Deneen tried to, and he was swiped out.
Maxi's off, sorry Dave, and Maxi's just gone off out of turn 3 there, and he's damaged his front wing, so he just lost it all by himself whilst chasing down Blaz there. So Maxi there getting on the power and then just swapping ends. Sorry Dave, carry on.
Yeah, and of course Matt down in 12th as well. This is what I was saying, this track is more challenging than the likes of Belgium. You know, this is a real tough track. Not much runoff, and Samson's got a 3-second penalty. But you know, you get it wrong, you're in the gravel, you're in the grass, or you're in the wall. This is such a challenging track, and the likes of, look, TG, Dutch Dave, Blaz to Samarales, BP's back up to 10th again. Keep it clean, and you make up these massive positions. Jamie is now right behind Vanquish, the 2 championship leaders are about to go side by side.
Oh, fantastic stuff. We just did some. Oh, look at this. I think Jamie's done a fantastic job in the opening part of this race.
He's
Brilliant stuff.
As well. He's on softs.
Absolutely somehow navigated his way through all that carnage. Brilliant stuff. And I think that mega move, oh my gosh, and that mega move down into turn 3 was phenomenal stuff. That was a Champions-esque move, wasn't it, from Jamie? But he's having a look, but no, Vanquish there. That would have lost his wing, I think, if he attempted to go down there. Incredible start to this Austrian Grand Prix.
These tyres are the golden ticket at the moment. These are still have plenty of life left in them, because Flying Sods on the softs as well. These are the tyres good at the moment. Especially Hillsrap still right behind Samster.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, only 7/10 of a second moment between Samster and Hillsrap. That is the battle for the lead. We're just focused on the championship battle at the moment. But if Samster wins today, then he's really slotted himself right in the middle of the championship battle. He's only 19 points behind. So there's a longer way to go still, isn't it? And Samster there just matching Vanquish's moves. Oh, 3-second penalty for Luton. Then there he's down in 15 for the moment, just behind his teammate Jacob. And yeah, going back to the incident, Dave, about the pit-in entrance there. It's a bit of an odd pit lane here, isn't it? Of course, it can cause as we've got a Red Bull going off the track there.
Yeah, it's got messy. So Matt just repassing New Life is glitching galore. Jacob, Lucas, and Dan and Tony are all side by side as well, and Crazy Power, and that's a good move, or good defensive move. Lucas and who's in the hards there? So we've got Lucas, Dan Newtonian, and Crazy Power all on the hard tyres, all stuck behind Jacob on the worn soft tyres. In fact, Jacob going down the inside of Lucas. Should get the job done there. Yes, he does. Wow, well, maybe not.
Wow, good stuff from Jacob there. Brilliant. They lay on the brakes, and oh my gosh, I thought that they were really starting to lock wheels there. I thought that was going to be a big old incident. Jacob doing a fantastic job there. Really.
Nothing wrong there. Jacob's very low on earth, but there's nothing wrong there. Just a little nibble out. It's on the Leclerc did it to Hamilton. And where's
Jamie takes the lead, and he is up into third position. It looks like he's done it between turn 1 and 2 there. It's a good it looks like Jamie there got a good bit of straight line speed in that Mercedes.
He's gone.
Oh, this is interesting, isn't it? So, Vanquish is really locked up there. I thought he was going into the back of Jamie there. Very well held there from Vanquish. But yeah, has he got the pace to get out from the front too? Of course, his teammate Hillsrap is no slouch, is he? Remember those 2 incredible wins in Monaco and Canada, and of course Samster as well. He's had 3 wins as well. So yeah, look at this. This is why it's called the Elite. Look at all these drivers in the field at the moment. Brilliant stuff indeed. We're only on lap 8. Incredible stuff so far in the opening few moments then of this Austrian Grand Prix. All up in the air at the moment. It's not a walk. It's not a walk in the park like we was fearing in the opening. It's a Hillsrap there. It's gone a bit wide as we was fearing in qualifying earlier on. So and to be honest, I love a good close racing. It's going to be a mega race. This is, isn't it?
Yep. Credit to Blaz, who is now up at 8th place, and Teeth Morales. More heroics from him. He's just holding off BP at the moment, but again they've beautifully put their way up through the field. Jacob from penalty. Jacob's now pulling away from Lucas, Crazy Power, and Dan Newtonian, who are all scrapping nose to tail amongst themselves at the moment. But Jamie not quite shaking off Vanquish. And maybe these soft tyres are starting to wear, because Hillsrap's dropping to Samster. Vanquish and the medium tyre runners are starting to close back in on the soft runners.
What are their options now then, Dave? Do they go to medium tyre? So we've got side by side action between Lucas and Crazy Power, and Crazy Power has done a very gentlemanly thing there. He didn't run him out wide there, so we've got a drag race coming down into turn 3, and then Lucas has got a very slippery car in that Toro Rosso, hasn't he? But Crazy Power's the inside lock in the inside front, huge lock up there for Crazy Power. And Lucas remains in 40th position.
Your pits and the softs. I wonder now if the softs are just starting to scream. Yours gone early, so he'll get an undercut on the guys ahead of him, maybe trying something different, but he could come back out in traffic. This track is so small that you're going to get caught out in traffic. I wonder if he'll get ahead of the Jacob-Lucas battle. Should be in clean air though.
Yeah, it's a very long pit exit here, isn't it? It's quite deceiving, and you've got to be very careful on the exit there, because I think we've seen a couple of drivers crash there before.
And Tony just passing their Crazy Power to start finish straight.
this battle's so far from over. I'm loving this battle, this free car battle. This is only for 14th, 15th, and 16th at the moment. Look at the caliber of drivers down at the lower end of the field at the moment. But remember, they're on the hard tyres. And do you think they'll be able to get to the end of the race on those hard tyres?
And if I'm going, they're already 8 laps old already. So maybe no, and maybe a splash and dash was lost towards the end. Hillstrap's now 2.5 behind Samster. Yeah, these soft tyres are going off. Vanquish all over the back of Jamie. Flying Sauce has dropped off. Dash Dave, interestingly 6th, is starting to make some inroads on these guys.
Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. We've got such a mixed bag of strategy out there as well. We've got Samster on the medium tyres. What tyres is he going to go on? We've got Hilserap, who's on the soft. Is he going to go to the medium? And it's those mediums go get to the end from here. That's a question in itself, isn't it, really? We've just seen Yoru coming to the pits on the medium tyres.
I think for Hilserap, if he pits now, he is likely to come out in traffic. He's got a good chance of undercutting Samster, but where I put him coming out is as BP passes Sammy is probably in that midfield pack where he does not want to be. You're getting a move on it. And watch out for Yor. Let's see how he can undercut Flying Souls and Vanquish and Jamie.
Sam Morales are on a good old lunge at BP, and to be honest, that was a proper lunge. That was quite the way far back. Danny Rick would have been impressed with that if Sam Morales pulled that off. A very nice overtaking move, but unfortunately he went in too deep in BP. Very calmly done, very experienced driver. Just did the switch back, and he's on his way then. So of course both of these guys haven't pitted yet, so they're on the same length of tyre.
Flying Souls in on the soft tyres now. Where will he come out compared to Yor? Yor was battling with Flying Souls. Jacob picked another penalty. By the way, don't forget Samster has a 3-second penalty, and I haven't seen Hilserap pick up one yet. That's going to be interesting to watch. Good stop for Flying Souls. Where is Yor? Does Yor jump in?
Yor's coming down the pit straight now. Where's Flying Sauce? Flying Sauce is just in the pit, so Yor is in front of him, I think, but he does have it more in a acute angle. Yeah, Yor is in front and up into 10th position then, so yeah, good undercut there. So judging from that then, you would say that the undercut's quite powerful around here, Dave.
Yeah, which is why, you know, Hilserap now 3 seconds adrift. If I was Hilserap, I'd probably pit this lap as well, put some medium tyres on, and put Samster under a bit of pressure on the undercut, because he's got a good chance of jumping on the track and then making Samster having to pass Hilserap later on in the race, which is no mean feat. Penalties are flying, and it's so easy to pick up at the exit of turn 1. Run a bit wide, it's a warning, instant warning. I think some drivers are starting now to stumble over that, which is going to be a problem. Oh,
Jamie's in the pits. So Jamie's in the pits then from third position. The champion. Oh no, he's got a 5 second. Oh no, that is oh dear. You would have been practicing that in qualifying. Surely that is going to be a major blow later on in this race, I feel, because this is such a tight pack, isn't it? Where that could come back and bite Jamie on the rear there. Where is he going to come out in front of Yor? I think he should be able to come out in front of Yor. Matt's just gone through now. And Yor is, there he is. Not far away, Yor is he? Look at that.
Yor has really closed up, and he'll have to warm the tyres. Will he have a run on Jamie? And there's Flying Sauce in the background, so they're going to resume their battle. Big shout to BP. BP was at the back, and we saw him flying off the road at the last turn when he was trying to avoid the carnage between Dineen and Jacob. He's done a fantastic recovery job as BP. Finds himself up into 6th place as Lucas passes Crazy Power.
Yeah, it's getting a bit dicey down there between Lucas and Crazy Power. I was covering my eyes there as Lucas is now back up in the 14th position. They're at a good old scrap here, aren't they? It's brilliant stuff. It doesn't matter if it's points or not, does it? It's all about pride. And I tell you what, it's absolutely...
Hilserap is in.
Oh, so Hilserap has rolled the dice then. Yeah, I was going to say... Do you think that's going to cost him over Jamie? Because the undercut is quite powerful.
If he can get 3-4 laps over, as Matt pits as well, if he can get 3-4 laps over Samster and clear laps at that, let's see what he can do. It looks like he will have a clear track with Jamie Yor.
It's coming close! It's coming close! Wow! It's very close! Oh my god, that is incredible! They're wheel to wheel going up to turn 2, and wow, look at the Mercedes then! This is going to be fantastic! Jamie's up into the 2nd position, but no, up to the 7th position. No, now it's Hilserap. He is back through and up into 8th position. And Yor's in there as well. Wow, that is very close. I didn't expect it to be that close. That's incredible.
Interesting, Matt's gone to the hard tyre, so he may get to that. So that's just that Williams won't get to the end. Have these guys got one more stop to make then? This is going to be interesting. Jamie with that 5-second penalty, and then got slam dunked.
Samster! Samster is out of the race. Where's it gone? Oh, it's in the exit of the pit lane, Dave. Can you believe it? I'm in absolute shock. Samster once again has retired from a race, and he was in the lead. This was his race to win, and he is out. And that is a major, major blow.
Just sums up his season. Win or bust. He's done it again, has Samster. That was his to throw away. Like that was his win. This gifts it. And if this makes this Hilserap Jamie battle probably an outright battle for the lead. And Flying Soz. Vanquish, this race is now up in the air. Samster again has just lost it and crashed on his own knees.
That is unreal. He was in the entry of the pit lane now. Do you think he just went a bit wide in turn 8 and then spun out?
Exactly what I said in qualifying. Too much curb, and then he's obviously got on the. You catch a curb, it spits you out. I said it in qualifying. It's exactly that. Samster's just dropping concentration's done that. That
is a major, major blow from the Canadian driver. It really is. Vanquish is now a new race leader. And oh, there's a car in the wall. That's a Williams in the wall. It's Sam Morales. He was on a fantastic race up until that point, and he's damaged. That's the whole front wing gone. That's a pit stop. That's definitely a pit stop, and that's a big blow to his strategy as well. He might have to just put on the hard tires and hope for the best there from the Williams driver.
On the hard and suck it up. Unfortunately, that's a real shame for T. Sam Morales, who picked up his first penalty in 2-3 races as well. Few laps to go. What a blow! Again, these guys are dropping concentration, tyre wear dipping down, and they're not coping very well. This could be an opportunity for the likes of Ozone to pick up some points. Tracy Power and Dan Lutoni going at it again.
I tell you, I'm really enjoying this battle. This is fantastic.
Matt Lucas as well then side by side.
Interestingly enough, Dan Lutoni has come back in the pits on the hard tyre. So is he having troubles with warm up there, or do you feel that it's just not the pace?
Hillsop and Jamie are side by side.
Oh, and Jamie's through. The championship leader is through and up into fourth position. Samster's just messaged in the comments there. He's very unhappy, and to be honest, it's a very difficult time at the moment for Samster, isn't it? The pace from the Canadian is absolutely mind-blowing. It really is, but it's just the consistency and getting to the end, which is throwing the championship away, I feel.
Kill me now. Look, it's a long championship. It's anything can happen, but Vanquish, Dutch Day pits, but Vanquish. Jamie took a big penalty as well. It's a long way to go. I am no way writing Samster out. He just needs some consistency. God, it's so frustrating. This man could be leading the championship by a long way, but as Jacob gets another penalty, but at the moment, as BP second, at the moment, Hilserap is in the golden seat right now.
I'm not sure if you've seen that, Dave, but that was a very late maneuver. He's on the outside. He's on the outside, and he's throwing over the third position. Wow.
Brilliant stuff from Hilserap. We said it in qualifying. This man can win. He's more than capable of winning 2-3 races in a row and getting himself back in a championship contention. And he is doing that right now. Samster out the race, and these guys have all of a sudden gone, hang on, we can do something here. And you're now fancy the run on Jamie. Jamie's in trouble. He's got a 5-second penalty followed by at least 3 more seconds. He's in a bit of trouble.
This is as well. Carton has just messaged in the comments that he's very happy at the moment because his prediction is coming to fruition at the moment because Vanquish is leading by 11 seconds. But this, crazy power! I tell you what, it's the start of the show. Oh, Matt's got damage, I think, hasn't he, on the other side of the wing? Let's have a quick look.
Impact damage from Matt.
Oh no, he's having
This is incredible. He's having an identical race to France. Qualified high. Started the first stint so high up, battling with the leaders, and it just somehow he just finds himself going backwards during his races at the moment. Jacob pits.
Jacob's in the pits then, so he's going to go on to, he's done 15 laps on the tires. Jamie's having a look on the hills up on the inside, and they did make contact. It looked like a day and a dollar short, but fair play though. He controlled it very well. I thought it was going to be Hakkinen and Coulthard from 99, but no, they're still going at it. They're going to go down to turn 3. No, he's through. Jamie is through. But no, that's brilliant switch back there from Hilserap there. Absolutely fantastic. There's a McLaren, a BP, just as Dave said. Oh, and he's back through, and he's up into 3rd position.
This is brilliant. We've got Dutch lead, Dutch second, Dutch third, Greek 4th, Greek 5th, Greek 6th, Dutch 7th, Greek 8th. We've got the Greek and Dutch drivers dominating the top 8 positions at the moment. absolutely going for it. BP's about to get sucked into this battle. He has not stopped yet, and he has got a charging bunch of Greek drivers quickly catching him up.
Absolutely mega stuff. This is a joy to watch. This is the battle between the two Mercedes and B. There's a, oh my gosh, there's a racing point just there going very slow. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's I thought, oh, and now Hills it's gone up to third position. Now Jamie's gonna go for the switchback, is he? Look at that, he should have the run out of the corner, and he's back with the third position. This is brilliant stuff, it really is. I'm loving this.
Just keeping it beautiful, watching closing. Is he going to do this time? Hills up on the inside. So Jim on the inside.
Oh, that's beautiful.
The championship leader, but you're just keeping a very close watching eye on these guys and flying saws. And don't rule out Dutch Dave, and the hard tyres definitely does not have to stop again. He is catching this group as well. Matt does put the sauce.
Yeah, unfortunate for Matt. It's a similar story to Samster, really, isn't it? Both have been very quick in qualifying, but unfortunately Matt's having a difficult race, and Samster laps in concentration. He's gone out of the race. That's a major blow for Samster, isn't it? But as Dave said, this championship is far from over. We're only at half distance, believe it or not, in this championship, and the whole of the elite grid is covered by 95 points so far.
Look at the 4 drivers here. So Flying Souls has got himself right in. Baz has passed New Life, but I'll throw another spanner in the works. What happens when Vanquish pits and BP? Will they go to the soft tyres? BP now being passed by a fellow countryman.
Oh, BP! Off goes Hilser. I think BP put on too much power, and I think he forced Hilser off there. And now we've got Yor and Hilser there side by side. Flying Sauce has got him into 4th position. As now this is definitely good for Jamie, isn't it? This is brilliant stuff for Jamie, the championship leader. It gives him a breath of fresh air whilst the guys now starting to battle amongst themselves.
BP's got a pit. His tyres are absolutely knackered coming on the exit of that corner. BP looks like his mediums have gone. What does he go on? Does he go on the hards? Does he go on the softs?
It's going to be a big ask, isn't it, for the softs? There's about 16 more laps to go. Do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's worth a go? Well, he's staying out there. He must be trying to get to a sensible lap, but he's going to be losing too much time, isn't he?
I reckon Vanquish and BP are going to try and go to when the softs are in range. When they are, they're going to fly, because these medium runners are going to be tyres wearing massively. I'm not convinced that these guys haven't got stuff again as well. As here goes Hillsrap.
And here, Hillsrap all over the back of Yor. He's got a double slip through as well, because Flying Souls is just in front of him. This has been absolute. Oh, yellow flag in 2 and 3. Max is out of the race. Oh, and his teammate there. I thought he was going to on. Sorry, I was on board with Hillsrap, and I thought he misjudged it there. My bad. Anyway, Hillsrap is through and up in the 5th position, or is he? Because Yor is now slotted back into 6.
A lot of straight line speed there for Hillsrap with DRS. Dan's out. Dan and Tony's out. They're dropping like flies.
Yeah, oh my gosh, and there's Matt who's gone the outside of New Life there. He's damaged his front wing again, Matt has, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but Matt is really struggling at the moment, isn't he? Just on board New Life at the moment, and Matt's gone straight on. I think this is frustration from the Haas driver, and I think he is out of the Austrian Grand Prix, unfortunately, for Matt. So that's both the front row sitters are out of the race. Shocking stuff at the moment.
Yeah, this is starting to get a bit scrappy in the field. Big shout out to Ozone, hasn't scored a point yet this season, going nicely on his own, and is will be up into 14th place. 4 more retirements and he'll have his first point. But here we go, 2 McLarens, 2 Mercedes. That's Alpha, let's do it.
Oh, and also the Mercedes has thrown itself in there as well. Lovely. Oh, but he's gone a bit wide. And BP is back up in the 2nd position, and now Hillsrap has got a lot of pressure now from Yor. And look at this, Jamie is now pulling away. He's 2.7 seconds in front, and this could pay dividends later on. Somehow, Hillsrap! Oh, that was a bit wild there, and he has gone off the track there, and he's damaged that end plate. He's going to have to come back in the pits, and Dutch Dave being very cautious around there. Good stuff from Dutch Dave.
That was a bit silly from Hillsrap. Well, it looked too late on the brakes. Straight into the side of the McLaren. What a shame for Hillsrap. Again, another driver who just seems to be going a bit backwards in the race as the race goes on in recent times. What a shame for the Greek driver.
Yeah, it really is. Do you think that was frustration, or do you think it was lack of concentration there? Because it looked like he just braked way too late.
I know BP and he came together a little bit, although that was BP's tyres, but we've got to stay cool because Jamie's got a 5-second penalty plus, so Hillsrap was still on for a good podium. That's massively compromised his race.
Yeah, it's I must admit, because when I used to get stuck behind the car, I remember just sometimes it's very difficult to think about your own race and not worry about so got your flag up there, and not worry about the guy that's you're racing again. I was wondering if Hillsrap might have lock up there from BP. I was wondering if Hillsrap was thinking more along the lines of Jamie and what he's doing.
No front wing coming in the pits, so I think he's had an off somewhere. He was due to pit anyway, but credit to Ozo, still going, 14th place, still in the race, as Jacob gets past Lucas.
And I tell you what, he slammed the door shut on Lucas there. Brutal stuff from Jacob. And but Lucas is not having that, is he? But now Crazy Power. Remember, Crazy Power is done at 21 laps on these hard tires. Lucas has done 19 laps on these hard tires, so they're not fresh out of the blankets anymore.
Vanquish in.
Vanquish is in the pit.
Soft tyres. Will they get to the end? Because this guy's struggling out there on soft tyres who struggled to do 10 laps, so
that is
fine. So again, anyone can win this race right now. And BP wants to get undercut on softs. Do it now. The BP can jump Flying Sods, Yor and Jamie to be pitted now because they may have to stop again.
Got a yellow flag floating around in 1 and 2. Just seeing where that is. Nothing too major by the looks, I hope. Crazy Power's on the back end of Lucas now. As it stands, if we take into account penalties, Jamie will be Flying Sods that be leading this race, and the battles between Yor and Flying Sods for the win there. Obviously, I can't.
Yor's got their penalties and Flying Sods at BP. Oh, damage for Lucas. He's hit the back of Crazy Power. He's got end plate damage. He's going to have to pit anyway because he's on 20 Stafford hard tyres. But that's a blow. We're going to see a lot of drivers coming in for soft tyres for our last run coming up.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely mega stuff for the final couple of laps here. So Vanquish is out on soft tyres at the moment, so he is going to be flying now. He's only 3.1 seconds behind BP now. Is BP going to come into the pits? No, he's staying out there. So he doesn't feel that the soft tyres are going to last as long as Vanquish thinks they are. We've still got a good old battle between Flying Sods and Yor. But as you said, Dave, if I'm not sure about the penalties. Well, we're talking about that in a minute because Yor's at the inside. Is he going to take it? He has. Good stuff there from Yor. And he is up into second position. This might be the battle for the lead, remember, because Jamie has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. He's going to be kicking himself as a Crazy Power and Lucas.
More than that as well. He's had more than that because they get Yor 1 in Belgium. So this man's, although he's a reserve driver, this man is again rising to the top. And where did Yor start? He wasn't the top 5, was he? That's for sure.
No, he was quite the way down. Lucas and Crazy Power having a good old scrap here. Absolutely fantastic stuff for the lower end of the points at the moment. They have Samarella's behind him now, who's gaining on him. He's done 9 laps on those soft tyres Samarella's has. I doubt those tyres go to the end for Samarella's. I'm wondering if he'll have to stop again. Because that's going to be a big ask, isn't it? It's a big ask for Vanquish, I feel, to go from now till the checker flag on the soft tyres. And Crazy Fire's got no way. He's going to have a look down in turn 4. Oh my gosh, he is. That's a great move. Wow,
that's fantastic. The top 6 are separated by 11 seconds, and we're wondering whether some more guys have got to pit yet. This is probably playing into Vanquish's hands right now.
It isn't Vanquish. Oh, he's just had a bit of a lunge on BP. I don't think he's damaged the car there, but yeah, that was a bit far back for Vanquish. He's done very well to control the car.
BP off the track as well on BP. He's got to get out of the way there. Jamie up 11 places. Yor up 5. Flying Sods up 5. BP up 11. Navy Dutch Dave up 3. Blaz up 6. Jacob up 3. So qualifying again has meant absolutely nothing the way this race has gone.
Is that rain? That's rain, Dave. I think there's rain on Vanquish's camera here. We're on board with Vanquish. I think there's rain, Dave, in the air.
It is? No way.
Oh my gosh.
Is that why BP's holding on to his mediums?
Is this a master stroke from BP? That would be fantastic stuff. It really would be.
It's got to rain. In fact, is it raining? Not on this camera shot towards the end, it's not.
We're on board with Vanquish, and he's thrown over the 4th position.
Yeah, it is raining. Yeah, oh, it is. So it's made it a bit harder to help the likes of BP, Jamie, and Yor out. But okay, so a lot of people's tyres are coming to the end of their life. Do they hold on and try and see the wet weather tyres come in, or because they're going to burn? BP's really struggling with braking. on the exit. Flying Soul's right behind Yor again. You know, these guys are tires are starting to scream.
This is good. Oh, Summerellis has braked way too late there and it damages front wing going to the back of Lucas there. That's a shame for Summerellis as well because he had such pace there to and was gaining. Look, Hilserap, who's just coming the pits on the medium tyres. He is he's unfortunately a bit of a disastrous race in the end for Summerellis.
Crazy Power and Lucas are on 25 lap old tyre. BP's done 26 on his medium. They're screaming right now. They want the rain to come heavier. Or can they go all the way?
That's going to be very interesting. Because BP has made a stop, didn't he, earlier on in the race? So he should. Oh, Jamie's got another penalty.
No, BP has not stopped. So BP is praying for this rain to get heavy, and now we need intermediates.
This is going to be interesting, isn't it? Because if the Flying Souls there, I thought he misjudged his breaking point there, and very nicely done to stay on the back end of Yor there. But yeah, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? Who's going to gamble on the intermediate? Surely someone who's lower down the field, maybe a new life for Summerellis, or even Hilserap, who's not in the points of the while. He is in the points now. Just throwing on some green mark intermediate tyres and seeing how the grip is. I think it's too early yet, though, isn't it, Dave? I think they have to wait, don't they?
A very short track. BP, I've got a feeling he's going to have to bite the bullet, and it's going to cost him. Well, it may not. If no one else pits for inters, he'll come in for softs. He'll be fine. The rain's not falling hard enough. This race will be over in less than 10 minutes with the. He's lost connection to Dave. Hopefully, we'll get him back in a second. But yeah, as Dave was saying, it's going to. Our controller went there.
Yeah. You were saying about BP's strategy there. We've got your flag in sector 3. Oh, that's Ozone is right off the track there. That is in a different postcode by the looks. I'm trying. Is that the last corner?
Flying Souls have passed Yor. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, that was already. Sorry, my game's catching up. Yeah, Ozone way. Where's Ozone gone?
That's at turn 7, isn't it? Just before turn 8 and 9. Yeah, just that kind of to the final sector there. As BP is dropping down now. He is really struggling on those tyres. So, yeah, BP is now dropped behind Dutch Dave as well. The rain is not coming quick enough for BP. You can see it's still only a light sprinkling at the moment. The track is not wet enough. DRS is still enabled. That's usually a big indication. Another yellow flag in 3. As this is going to get...
Adam Williams, T Sammy running way off the track as well. Two drivers are starting to struggle. New Life in as well. He's got no front wing either, so cars aren't going off. They are getting sticky.
Do you reckon these guys will throw another set of interest and see what goes on?
Nah, it...
Oh, I think there's...
The track's too short. It's race to be over very shortly. They've got to hold on. All these drivers are going to hold on. The inters are not beneficial with the amount of time left.
And BP is in the pits. What's he going to go on? Do you reckon he'll have to be a soft? Surely, shouldn't it?
Softs. Inters is it's nowhere near inters yet. There's no spray or anything yet. I'll be stunned if he puts it.
He has put inters on.
Well, what do we know? Well, alright. This could cost him. Well, he's got a big gap to Crazy Power in ninth, but he needs a downpour.
Yeah, it needs to get very heavy now, and not just
Lucas pits and T Sam pits. Maybe I could in for inters then. These boys up for top 10 have got nothing to lose. They're done. Lucas had 29 lap old hard tyres anyway. Jacob's close to disqualified. He's had so many penalties. He will not finish 7th.
And Hilserap has gone very well. He had a great oh no, Ozone's out.
No!
He just put the inters on. That is a big shame for Ozone. That really is. And what a shame for Ozone. And Hilserap having a look, but the Crazy Power back in there. Let's just take a quick look to see what BP is doing then. Is this good enough? We're on board with him now. He's
catching Jacob. The timings are coming down. Well, actually about even. As Red Bull's Dutch Dave lapping. Vanquish penalty.
Oh, Vanquish got penalties as well. He's currently 4th at the moment in this race. Yeah, it's about even, I'd say, at the moment. So Jacob is now all over the back of Blaz. Blaz had a very quiet race. I think he's up to 6. Brilliant stuff there from Blaz.
Great job. And also Hilserap as Crazy Power pits on 28 lap old hards. I'd say Hilserap is getting very impatient behind him. BP is dropping time to Jacob.
Yeah, I think you're right, David. Still, I think it's a day. It's too early, isn't it? Jacob going.
Blaz in the prep from Jacob.
And Jake. Oh, but Blaz is not having that, is he? Brilliant! And he's done a good old switch back there. And he's got DRS as well. That just rubs salt into the wounds, don't it? So Blaz is back up into 6th position at the moment. And Jacob has dropped down to 7th at the moment. Yeah, this rain needs to get a lot heavier for BP and the intermediate runners. Oh, Blaz has gone wide! He's gone wide! That's gifted the place back to Jacob. And he's back up to 6th. This rain needs...
Vanquish pits!
They're all in the pits! They're all in the pits. Jamie's got to take his 5-second penalty now. Oh no, this is going to cost Jamie the lead.
Oh no. Flying Sauce got a penalty. Flying Sauce has got a penalty. I couldn't see if it was 5 seconds or 3.
I think it was 5 seconds, wasn't it? Yor is leading the race, or is he? No, because Jamie's come back out the lead. No, Flying Sauce is leading. Flying Sauce is leading, but he's got a 5-second penalty. Jamie's in 2nd. Vanquish is 3rd. Yor's had a terrible stop and it's dropped down, and the DRS is disabled. Now it's time for the intermediate tyres. But I think Dave is still on medium tyres there. Dutch Dave is still on medium tyres.
Has put the medium tyres on. Oh. Man, and here comes BP. Wow, it's worked for BP. Credit. Blaz is in. Yeah, they're all winters now except Dutch Dave. Wow, and now BP right behind him. He's going to regret this so much.
Oh, what a shame for Dutch Dave. And look at this, BP just up the inside, just showing the difference really, the tyres and the dries there at this stage.
Two Dutch drivers, no Archibald there. Dave is going to have a mission to get round and finish this race on those. What a shame. Hillsrap back in the pit. It didn't work for Hillsrap, did it? That's a real shame. But Flying Sauce just 2 seconds behind Jamie, who has now offset his penalty. I'm going to quickly see what that penalty was, whether it was 5 seconds or not. Vanquish can win this race. Yor, who was so good in the wet in Belgium, can win this race.
And Samurai, I think, has visited the wall at turn 1 there. So, as we got a Red Bull of New Life just get out of the way there. Flying Sauce leads the Austrian Grand Prix. That is incredible. How many leaders have we had today? Brilliant stuff. This is like no one wants to win this race. Incredible. Flying Sauce leads. Jamie is 2nd. 3rd is Vanquish. And maybe Carton's prediction is going to come true. He absolutely slammed it, didn't he? I think he was going to the betting shop in the morning. Incredible stuff. Vanquish is in 3rd position at the moment. We got Yor in 4th. BP 5th. Dutch Dave. My heart goes out to Dutch Dave. And to be honest, I think...
Flying Sauce has a 5-second penalty, Sean. I'm not sure whether he served it in the pits, but it's saying he got a 5-second penalty when he entered the pits.
Oh, it was a speed in the pit lane infringement, wasn't it, for Flying Sauce? That is going to cost. Do you think that's going to cost him the win? Surely.
Well, it'll also could cost him a podium. Yours going to have to get a move on for that. But BP, wow, it's worked for him, hasn't it? Top 5.
Brilliant stuff from BP, just hanging on to those tyres. I've never those tyres would not be roadworthy, would they? Incredible stuff from BP to keep it on the island. Absolutely fantastic stuff.
Top 10 places. That's Jamie has. Jamie deserves credit. Started outside the top 10. Now 2 seconds, but look who he's about to re-engage in battle with. His championship contender. The top 2 of the championship about to go nose to tail in the final 2 laps.
It seems like these guys just can't stay away from each other. Brilliant stuff. Flying Sauce, I think, is almost starting to reel in as well. It's under a second now. No DRS anymore because we're in wet weather conditions. So we've got a battle for the lead then here in Austria. Unfortunately, I think penalties might decide this one, but that is that is half the battle in itself, is to avoid getting the penalties. But this is fantastic stuff. Flying Sauce, Jamie, Vanquish, all in the same shot, battling for the win here in Austria. Remember, we're on round 10 of the Elite League, and no one has hit 100 points yet, which is absolutely phenomenal stuff, isn't it? It's brilliant stuff. So that's the top 3. Yor is just 2.9 seconds back, but he needs to hang on because these penalties might come back and give him a podium. Yor is really showing some absolute class, isn't he, since debuting in IRC. Absolutely fantastic stuff. That win in Belgium would live with me forever, I think. It was one of the best races you'll ever see.
Is in an interesting position here. He knows he's got a 5-second penalty. I don't know whether Jamie or Vanquish will know. If he finds Soz, is there much point really fighting these guys too hard and costing himself more time? Because he's in danger of losing completely down a 4th spot as Dutch Dave passes Jacob.
And yeah, Dutch Dave, of course, who was in the top 5, wasn't he, before the mechanics put on the medium compound tyre, which basically on a wet track, which all but ended his challenge for some major points today. He's still in the points, mind you. He's still got 6 points on the board, but he'll be disappointed with that result. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Flying Sauce does here. As James covers get another penalty there.
He must
So
be the verge of disqualification. He must be the verge of disqualification. Crazy Power gets past Jacob. Jacob is going to be lucky to score a point.
oh, he has got disqualified.
Disqualified. There you go.
So we've had 2 disqualifications in 2 races now. Of course, Vanquish had disqualification as well for parking in a dangerous location in France, and now we've got Jacob with disqualification. Yeah, but I think you're exactly right though, Dave. I've never seen, I think Carter had the most penalties back in France last year, didn't he? I think he had 30 odd penalties.
Karting, I think he'll never be beaten for penalties in the race. But Vanquish and Jamie are going to have an interesting last lap. This is going to be fun.
As it stands at the moment, Jamie will extend his championship lead to 5 points. So is it worth Vanquish to... and George's got a 3-second penalty. Is it worth Vanquish going for a lunge for the win? Well, to be honest, I aren't even taking into account penalties. That's just because they're second and third. There's going to be... he's got one! No, Vanquish is through and taken second position, which might be the net lead, Dave. Incredible stuff in this Austrian Grand Prix. Wow, mega. And is he going to have a look? He is having a look. He's having a look. He's having a look. Oh my gosh. Wow. That was brilliant awareness.
That just cost Jamie massively. Jack put Jamie right into the grips of Yaw, and I think Jamie's got more penalties than Yaw. That lunge could cost Jamie a position. But this is disastrous, by the way, for Samster and Deneen, who are going to score nothing compared to Vanquish, who is surely set to win this race, and Jamie's second. It's going to play. Crazy Power's only 8th. The likes of Blaz is going to really benefit from this, but the front 2 are going to emerge as Vanquish and Jamie leaving this race.
Absolutely mega stuff. Every elite race this year, it is basically thrown the form book out the window. John said, if you're a betting man, I'm not a betting man, and if I was, I would have no idea who to bet. You might as well just throw the money up in the air. But Flying Sauce comes around the final corner. Does he win the Austrian Grand Prix? He crosses the line and Vanquish wins. Jamie is second, Yor is third. Vanquish retakes the lead in the Drivers' Championship. So he only lost the lead for 1 race and he's back up top of the table. Yor third, Flying Sauce in 4th position. Mega race for Flying Sauce.
Great result for BP in 5th.
Brilliant.
10.
Brilliant race for BP. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Great result for Blaz as well. That's been some... This has been fantastic racing all the way through the field. It's been mega stuff. Blaz coming through to finish in 6th, or does he? Depends on the penalties. Dave is 7th. Crazy Power is 8th position. Hills are up. Oh, what could have been for the Greek driver, down in 9th position in the end. And Lucas will be in 10th position then in the Toro Rosso. And Samarella's just outside the points in 11th position. What a race! Fantastic.
We said it before the race. How is Vanquish going to respond to losing his championship lead? He's kept it. I don't think he's been the fastest driver out there by any means, but he's kept his nose clean yet again and has come through to win this race. Brilliant drive.
It was similar
Dutch Dave said he's going to fire his engineer.
Yeah, it was very odd for him to put on these soft tyres there, and I think we've all done that before. It's one of the most annoyingest things in the world, isn't it? Look at that. Ferrari, Mercedes, and a Alfa Romeo podium. Brilliant stuff. And Vanquish returns to the top of the table after losing the lead in France. Incredible stuff. 28 races he was in the lead for, wasn't he, in the championship? And then he's back on top again. Vanquish is there anything stopping this man?
Well, there are plenty of drivers who can stop it. They can keep it on the track and keep their noses clean. Hills are up. Samster, Deneen, Slim when he's back. Jacob when he stops getting penalties, of course Jamie, Yor, BP, Blaz, Dutch Dave. They just need some consistency. Stop bagging into each other, stop damaging their front wings, and get on with it, because Vanquish again was not the fastest driver today. Started 5th, probably was lucky, would have been lucky to get a podium in normal conditions, but he's just super clean, super consistent, keeps it tidy. He leads the championship again. But this Dutch battle between Jamie and Vanquish for the championship is going to be fantastic, and let's hope Deneen can get himself back in as well. More drivers, the better, but Jamie and Vanquish showing today why they're top of the championship.
Brilliant stuff, really is. Vanquish won the race from Jamie in second. Jamie from 12th on the grid to second. Yor and Flying Stars 3rd and 4th. BP 5th, Blaz 6th, Dutch Dave unfortunately 7th. In the end, it could have been so much better. Crazy Power 8th, Hilser up in 9th. Disappointing day for Hilser up, and Lucas was the final person in the top 10. I think Jorg got fastest up there as well. He was a couple of tenths quicker.
Great drive by Blaz, by the way. You see all the starting positions, so many in 8th and below. It's just keep your nose clean. That's what happens. But Blaz had a fantastic race there. Great comeback through the field drive for him as well.
It was absolutely mega stuff. What a rate! To be honest, I'm going next time there's an elite race. I'm just going to get in my gym gear, I reckon, because the amount of workout we do in here is unreal. It really is.
I've got a feeling we'll be seeing some footage for Deneen, because I think he felt a bit aggrieved with Jacob, who was in the end disqualified. But the first 10 laps were a little bit scruffy from some of the midfield runners out there. A little bit argy-bargy. Too many front wings being damaged. I'll be very interested to see some footage and some videos coming through.
Yeah, I think because there's a couple of times, wasn't there, where they was banging wheel stuff out. Most of it looked all right, but I think some films it might have been a bit over the limit. I'm wondering if we'll get any drivers in here tonight, because it'd be nice to talk to a couple of them and see what their perspective is on that race.
Blaz, Vanquish, anyone who wants a quick chat, come into the chat party. It'd be good to get a driver's perspective of how tricky it was at the end there, and amazing how the DRS was not disabled when the front four pitted in. Did they all follow each other? Did they all go by their senses and quickly jump in when they saw the car in front jump in or not? Dutch Dave engineer has been fired. It was a bit odd why they put mediums on. But that was a good race. It was, again, we've had such different type of races this season, and that again was another one.
It's been brilliant as well. Remember, of course, the Elite League is every Wednesday night, so we're not stopping there. We're only halfway through. Of course, next week we're in Britain, the home of motorsport. Yay. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. But don't forget though, tomorrow, where the Superboys are in action, is it where Dave and the rest of the gang are going to be tackling this track as well. I wonder what they've learnt tonight.
Definitely two stoppings the way to go forward. I'd say even medium, soft. I think the softer compound tyres the way hard did nothing today. Quite rarity. The hards didn't even last. You saw Lucas struggling at the end with his hard tyres. So I would definitely say, if you can, it'd be medium, softs. But how you do it and in what order and how you do Q2, whether you put softs on and get into Q3 and start on softs and then go medium is a different question. But I will be leaving the hard tyres well alone tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point you make there. It was it seems like was the hard tyres just not getting the temperature up, or was it because they were just lacking pace, weren't they? They were nowhere.
Yeah, they were nowhere. They didn't last. They weren't even that durable. The rain, in fact, saved the likes of Lucas, and who else was it? I think it was Jacob. Somebody else also had nearly 30 laps on their hard tyres as well. They just didn't work for them. Just didn't work. Okay, they tried to get the end of them, but it was so slow in the end. They didn't seem to warm up, did they? The track's too short. The track is way too short, and there's too many straights. The first sector's all straights, and then big turns. There's no fast. For the hard tyres to warm up, you need fast corners. You've only got a couple of those at the end of the lap. Then they're on a long straight where they cool down into a big hairpin, not really using much tyre heat into slow corners. So it's not really a track for the hard tyre. That didn't work for the guys at the back.
So it looks as though it's going to be an interesting race tomorrow, then, isn't it? How's the Super Guys going to get their strategy calls right? And remember, as we talked about tonight with the rain, it could be even worse tomorrow. We only had a sprinkling towards the end there, but it certainly spiced out the rain. Towards the end. Then I don't think any of the elite drivers wanted to chat to us, which is a bit disappointing. Well, to be honest, they've probably heard enough of us on the stream. So I think we might just leave it there for tonight.
Yeah.
But of course, remember, tomorrow is the Super, so I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a mega stuff as well. So of course, same time, 8 p.m. UK time. Everyone can join us again. I hope you all join us tomorrow, because I love your input as well, and to tell us about what's going to happen, what your predictions and things like that. Thank you for joining me tonight, Dave. It's been an absolute pleasure and brilliant stuff to walk us through that.
Pleasure, mate.
Through that incredible Austrian Grand Prix. Next week, the elite guys will return, and is it going to be 11 out of 11 races? Some fantastic racing. To be honest, this whole season's been a highlight. But from tonight, it's goodbye.